Trib Live High School Sports Network is the official video and audio streaming partner of the WPIAL. We broadcast over 2,000 sporting events each year and cover 17 sports in over 170 schools. At HSSN, you'll find the latest in high school sports news, live and archive broadcasts, scores, standings, and much more. Trib Live High School Sports Network, your high school sports leader. All season, every season.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAT. Your home for the County of Champions.
Has a throw to first, and that's your ball game. Union has won its first ever WPIAL championship.
There it is. Champions, the Static Lancers.
Strike three. The Union Scotties, golden once again.
One gold not enough. How about 2 district gold and 2 state gold for the Lady Lancers?
The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
9 seconds. Anderson into the corner. It's poised for 3. Shot! Take time for
Going to throw again. Directing traffic. Going for the quarterback in the end zone. Touchdown!
Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.
Coming to you live from Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field. Spring season finally upon us. WPIAL Baseball here today on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP, as it's the top 2 teams in Class 3A. The Mohawk Warriors taking on the Neshannock Lancers. Today's broadcast at lcsportsnet.com and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and on Game Changer. Brought to you in part by Maley Chiropractic, by Castle Asphalt, by Medore Bonner Law, by Pontius Insurance, by The Red Zone, by the Crane Room Grill, by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, by Health and Motion Physical Therapy, by the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League, by Building Blocks Baseball, by Lawrence County Child and Youth Services, the Tri-County Principals Association, Something for Your Wall Photography, and the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Lee Moan alongside, I'm James Dodson. Aaron Nigiano, our producer extraordinaire, here for the kickoff of our spring sports season. Already one official week in the books in terms of section play. Mohawk coming in with a sweep against Quaker Valley. Neshannock, well, they had their quote-unquote bye week in week 1, as there are 7 teams in this section, in Section 1 Class 3A, so that means that every week one team needs to not have a section game on these Monday, Tuesdays. Neshannock had to have theirs right off the get-go, so they'll be taking the turf for the first time in section play. They're 2-0 overall. Mohawk at 4-0 overall. Lee, it's just glad to be out in the sunshine here today. How about that?
Yeah, an odd Western Pennsylvania day. We actually see sun. It's 60, 65 degrees. Wind blowing towards right field today at a good 10, 15 mile an hour. So anything out that way could be an interesting trek for the outfielders. And the outfield's still a little soggy from the storms on Saturday. So we'll see. Good possibility of a ball plugging out in the outfield today. So the balls are going to roll very slow out there also. So we'll see how that plays in today's action.
Captain's meeting at home plate here for our pregame show here at lcsportsnet.com. And you're going to have an interesting setup just with the fact that you have 2 pitchers, 2 tall right-handed pitchers who have already got 2 starts under their belt. This will be start number 3 for both Jacob Werner and Jacob Walzer. So we're going to do our best not to screw those up over the course of today. But Mohawk's Jacob Werner, the only senior in the starting lineup, 1-0 in his 2 appearances. Walzer on the other side, 1-0 in his 2 appearances. Both are going to be playing collegiately here locally as well. Werner going to Penn State Shenango and Walzer going to Westminster College. So you got a couple of strong aces going out at here for the first section game between these 2 squads. Again, back-to-back days for these games.
Yeah, and you expect nothing less than your big rival, to throw your number 1 pitcher here here today. And I like this new setup that they did this a couple years ago. They play them back-to-back now. So that way you can't throw your number one, save them for the next time you guys meet for a first. So this forces you to throw different people with different pitchers out there, which is it's coaches seem to like it, and it seems to be working out really, really well.
I want to give a shout-out real quick to junior Dante DeCristoforo, who's out there at the age of 10. They thought it was just a stomach flu, but he actually had suffered many severe, unidentified, and uncontrollable strokes, which unfortunately have left him with permanent damage and impairments. But he is back in the dugout this year to cheer on his team for Neshannock. So big shout-out to Dante.
Yeah, nice to see him out there during the pregame. And I'm sure he'll throw his 2 cents in there to try to help out Coach Q for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about Coach Q. His third.
We have to.
Well, you're right. Let's go on the other side and talk about Coach Mariano then first. How about that? Coach Mariano in his 5th season with the Mohawk Warriors. 6th season, but 5th official year as they lost that 2020 season. How about this? You go 1-15 in his first season, and since then, well, let's talk about much better. A WPIAL runner-up a year ago, as was Neshannock on the other side. But just what he has done in terms of turning this program around in the last 5 years has been very, very incredible. And it kind of comes back to I don't want to say his old stomping grounds because he's not a Neshannock graduate, but a former coach here under Coach Bub and Coach Q here at Neshannock. So the love between Coach Q and Coach Mariano, it's going to stop once the first pitch is thrown, but it's fun to see that out there.
I think it's stopped right now when they're going over the rolls right now. You can see, look at the hands are already going up and everything. So
I think they're talking about the plug ball. What do you want them to do? Just put the hands up, don't reach.
But anyway, Coach Mariano, 2005 Newcastle grad, played 4 years at Westminster, so he's local. It's good to see him doing very, very well. As you said, Mohawk, the runner-up last year here in AAA.
And it'll be interesting how they play because you did lose a couple of big-time seniors from that team, but you got a strong junior class. 6 juniors in the starting lineup today. The only seniors we mentioned on the hill in Jacob Werner, but a couple of freshmen that are in there early. Bobby Fadden leading off and Vinny Pizzulo in the cleanup spot. So not just freshmen playing, Lee, but playing in big-time spots.
Well, Bobby Fadden, we saw him in the basketball court.
And he set a single-season reception record as a freshman in football.
Yeah,
so
he's quite the stud athlete in Bobby Fadden. So he's off good as his career off to a good start. Yeah, 462 yards receiving was Bobby Fadden this year.
And you'll look at A.J. Verdi and Jay Rona, 2 of the juniors that are going to be called upon a lot as well. 3-year starters in their own right. Jay Rona, a 4-sport athlete.
Yeah,
so
he's insane. He could probably he reminds me a little bit of the kid from Fox Chapel. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but it just whatever he does, he's going to pick up anything. He's just going to do well and exceed.
Let's flip the script. Now we'll talk about Coach John Polero of Neshannock. His 4th season, 3rd official full season to be played here this year. A 35-17 record in his now 4th season, 3rd total year coaching here. We still got to go and rag him about, though, his time where he was the acting head coach for a few games during Coach Bub's run. In fact, back in I believe it was back in 2011. Yeah, it was 2011. They went. They won their first game, lost their second game, went undefeated the rest of the season through the WPIAL. So they got the WPIAL championships shirts. They couldn't write 21-0. It would have been 21-1, but Coach Bub said, "No, I wasn't coaching that game. We're 21-Q."
Gonna love it.
Yeah, but you're going to look at a senior-laden group here. 6 seniors in the starting lineup. Jack Leese, who will lead it off, but Andrew Fry, the big dog at third base. Are you allowed to be called Bubba on Bubba Kirkwood Field?
Good question. But the good thing about Andrew Fry, he's finally able to qualify for playoffs, because he's been unfortunately coming in from the other school, transferring in, couldn't play the basketball, couldn't play football. Finally, he's able to play a whole season and actually good, because they really missed him last year. Even though Neshannock had a great run into the state finals and everything, but still, it's such a big part of this team.
Even with him missing those 8 playoff games, 4 in the WPIAL and 4 in the state playoffs, he still led the team in RBIs on the season, 25 on the year. That just tells you.
That gives you the impact right there.
Yeah, and a lot of extra inning games that were being played on the season for Neshannock through the playoffs. Let's take a look first, though, at our starting lineup. We'll go at the batting order for the Mohawk Warriors, again under Coach Nick Mariano. Eric Verdi will be coaching first, and Mike Malley third. There's your starting lineup out there for the Mohawk Warriors, the designated hitter Aiden Bowser will be hitting for center fielder J.J. Nail. But Bobby Fadden leading off, A.J. Verdi catching, Jay Rona at short. Vinny Pizzulo to third baseman. Designated hitter Aiden Bowser hits fifth. Jackson Chapman, first baseman, hits sixth. Jacob Werner, the pitcher. Mason Hopper, the left fielder. And Keegan Hopper, the right fielder. The Twins hitting eighth and ninth. Fadden, Verdi, Rona, Pizzulo, Bowser, Chapman, Werner, Hopper, and Hopper.
And we'll give you our Medora Bonner Law defensive alignment here in a second.
But we're going to have our first pitch here delivered from Jacob Walzer to Bobby Fatten's going to miss down and away for ball one. Your first pitch delivery brought to you by Penn Ohio Bottled Water. Give them a call for delivery of your 3 or 5 gallon water cooler systems. We'll get the defensive alignment after this 1-0 pitch from Walzer. It's down at the knees and just down a little too much. 2-0 the count. The defensive alignment. Gleese, Cubelis, and Rind out in the outfield left to right. Andrew Fry at third. Jack Gleese at short. Matt Pellerino at second. Gio Valentine at first. Nate Rind behind the dish and Jacob Walzer at the plate. This one in there for strike. Makes a call 2-1. Again, Walzer a 6 innings thrown, 3 in each of his 2 starts so far, 12 Ks and 8 walks in those 2 games.
And you have a very nervous dad sitting right down below us.
2-1 swung on and lifted towards right field. Jake Rinn settling under it, drifting, and now makes the catch for the first out of the inning. F9 on the put out to right.
Yeah, I told his dad, I said, don't worry about it. He's already got an offer. He's going to Westminster. Doesn't matter how bad he does now. he said, I still want him to do well. I understand, but
And also the fact that you now have he's got a WPIAL championship appearance and a state championship appearance under his belt. This should mean absolutely nothing as he goes with a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1 to Verdi.
Yeah, he pitched pretty well in the postseason for sure.
Another breaking ball foul back to the screen, 0-2. And again, you lose Fry, who was a pitcher who was going to be used. At one point you had I think you've used 4 or 5 different pitchers over a 3-day span. You had kids who were sick. You had, obviously Sebastian Correa was the ace. Grant Melder, the number 2 from last year, started and pitched into extra innings in that state championship game. This breaking ball on 0-2 is driven the other way in the right center field, and it will fall in for a 1-out single. And by fall in, it looks like a Limo 9-iron as it just hit the deck.
My Limo 9-iron doesn't get in the air that far. So, but anyways, you could see with that grass, I mean, what happened there. It's not going to get a lot of rolls that these outfielders have to charge. Now we're going to have our courtesy runner.
Your courtesy runner brought to you by Castle Asphalt. Make sure you give them a call if you're looking for quality, cost-efficient paving and construction services. Castle Asphalt and Construction will make your visions for your projects a reality.
Talon Swanson, the freshman.
So third freshman already involved. The courtesy runner for the catcher.
Yeah, number 1 versus number 2 today. What a great way to start off spring sports. Huh?
Absolutely. Mohawk ranked number 1 in the Trib Live rankings. Mohawk as 1 and Neshannock as 2 as this first pitch misses high and away.
Yeah, Neshannock get moved up to 3A this year.
And part of that, it's actually a voluntary move up from them, from Shenango, and Laurel was considering it as well, I was told. But they had a huge senior class who left from last year. This one gets away and gets to the backstop. Wild pitch will send Talon Swanson, the courtesy runner, down to second base.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of me personally of schools wanting to play up. As I say, hey, you're 2A or you're 1A. But I understand why coaches do it.
Well, I mean, the fact that you can now have a section that has Neshannock and Shenango and Mohawk and
Elwood
City.
Cuts down your travel time and create the bigger rivalries. Understand that. But I'm just not. I'm more of a traditionalist, and this is where you play.
Jay Rona, the second lefty in the first 3 in the order for Coach Mariano's Mohawk Warriors. Rona hitting .667 to start the year. You can hear a lot of pretty good averages from both of these squads as we kick things off. 2-0 breaking ball in there for strike 1. 2-1 now the count.
In our Crane Room out of town scoreboard, Neshannock up on Freedom 11-0 at the end of 1.
Now, how could you see that? Oh, yeah, because we're right here.
Because I got binoculars.
That's 11-1 in the first.
11-0. Yeah, at the end of 1.
Breaking ball just misses outside. 3-1 to count. By the way, Doug Brown behind the plate and Jimmy Hart coming down from D10 to help out with the umping duties today. We have, unfortunately, a shortage in Lawrence County due to a lot of illnesses and injuries and just a million games going on. So glad he can make the trip down. Inside move, throw to second base. Back in time is the courtesy runner Swanson. And with that, you know that we have to get our first Shazi reference of the year. That was his least favorite move in the world.
Well, no, there's one more.
Oh, well, you do that and don't throw?
The fake the third and throw to first. That was the all-time chassis.
Breaking ball fouled out.
Yeah, the fake the third and just sort of toss over to first. That set him off more than anything.
Understandably so, too.
Yeah.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down here in the top of the first inning.
Of course, it didn't take much to set off chassis, so.
Payoff pitch is chopped towards first base, and it will also go foul. So count will remain 3-2 to Jay Rona. 3-hitter. Vinny Pizzulo, one of the 2 freshmen in the starting lineup, waits in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, Jay Rona, 1,000-point basketball, 1,000 yards passing this year. How about that? And he finished 16th in the WPIAL in golf.
He's not going to be able to hit 1,000, unfortunately.
No.
Fastball up and in. Didn't miss by much, but kind of tailed back at the last second. But it does give a 1-out walk and put 2 runners on base.
Another good start here for Walser. A little wild right now with that wild pitch. A little bit too much adrenaline. Just needs to settle down here.
And now a force at 3 bases for the freshman Vinny Pizzulo. Has the team's only home run on the season. The freshman clocked one in the section opener against Quaker Valley. First pitch breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Rind. Or in the pellets, they should say.
Yeah, he has hitting 364 early on with those 4 RBIs.
Swanson, the courtesy runner at second base. Rona running at first. 1-0 count with 1 down here in the first. Swung on and missed. Stevens account at 1-1. That's the one thing from our angle up top. It's a little difficult to fully tell exactly what the height is at times. The 1-1 to Pizzulo. Fouled back into the screen. Count now 1-2. Better job in this at bat, Lee, like you mentioned, of working ahead.
Yeah, this is the least of my worries about the height. We're in a press box. That's all I care about this time of year.
It is 66 degrees. I'll say partly cloudy.
Yeah, we'll go with partly cloudy.
Yeah, the app says cloudy right now, but we've had sun coming in and out, that's for sure. Here comes the 1-2. Popped up on the right side of the infield, drifting back.
Infield fly. It was called.
Yep, there's the call right there. Pallarino will make the catch probably about 10 feet into the outfield grass for the second out of the inning.
Even though the outfielder's out there, people are going to say, that's not an infield. Yes, it is.
And any routine play, correct?
Yeah, routine play, ball's in the air. He could be 20 feet out.
If it's high enough and he's all the way out where the center fielder normally plays and he's settled under it, that can be considered a routine play.
And that was very routine.
So now Aiden Bowser to the dish with 2 down. First pitch breaking ball swung on and missed.
A lot of movement on that one.
He's had some trouble locating the fastball in the first inning here, Lee, but that curveball has been very effective.
As long as he keeps it down.
Another one swung on and missed, and that's the name of the game, especially when you get to 3A, 4A, and above. If you can keep the ball down in the zone, you can be an effective pitcher.
It's all about hitting spots at any level.
No balls, 2 strikes to Bowser.
Let's see where he goes.
Fastball up in the zone. It is going to be chopped towards second base. It gets through a sliding Gleese, and that's going to get to the outfield and allow a run to score. Advancing to third on the play is Rona. And honestly, that's just a good piece of hitting from Aiden Bowser, who now increases his team-high 8 RBIs now on the season. He put it right where he wanted it with 2 strikes, just hit it right back where it came from.
Yeah, it's just a bad break by Walser. He really jammed them and just got enough of it. As you said, the shortstop, Gleese, trying to slide over. Thought he was going to make that play, but somehow went underneath his gloves. So a C-9 single puts up Mohawk up 1-0.
Runners on the corners. Jackson Chapman coming to the plate. Runner goes. Throw down to second base will be not in time, and it gets away from the second baseman, and that's going to allow the run to score. So stolen base for Bowser, and then E2 will bring in Rona.
E2?
Or E second baseman,
yeah,
E4.
E4, yeah.
E second baseman,
yes,
E4.
Please.
Did not get a call on the pitch.
That's 1-0 at the
1-0.
ball. Yep. Umpire signaling that. Yeah, it was a good throw down. And as you said, the Rona didn't break on the throw either. He waited till that ball was dropped.
Fastball right down Broadway, evens the count at 1-1. Yeah, that's why that's officially an E4. So 2 runs across in the top of the first inning here for Mohawk. 1-1 the count to Jackson Chapman, looking to increase his RBI total on the season. This one just misses away. 2-1 the count. 4 ribbies on the year for the sophomore, the only sophomore in the starting lineup for the Mohawk Warriors.
And the flowing mullet, which I love.
Yeah, he got a few of those.
Yes.
On the field here today. Fastball driven the other way, and that's going to be a seeing eye single into right field. Coming up is Wren. He's going to bring it to the plate, and it's going to be cut off. Throw to the plate will be not in time. 2-out rally. 3 runs on the board here in the top of the first inning for the Warriors.
And that was a great throw there by Wren for some reason. Pallarino cut it off, was told to cut it off, I would assume, and probably would have had a good chance of getting them at home. But unfortunately, the ball cut off, allows them to score, and Coach Q's going to come out right now and try to settle this squad down right now.
And I'll think exactly for that communication of, because it even looked like when Valentine caught the ball as the cutoff man their lead, he wasn't sure what to do with it, kind of double clutch, because I think if he does catch it and fire it, he still has a chance to get Bowser at the plate. So we have our first Pontius Insurance trip to the mound here of the afternoon. Make sure you take the time out and save money with your insurance and get the best rates and customer service by calling local agent Dan Pontius, Jessica Weiland, or Tracy Giddings.
Hey, quick shout out. Mr. Brian Dorenza, watching as they're busing to West Virginia to play Madonna Catholic. So, and he says Neshannock by 3. Go Coach Q. Well, right now it's Mohawk up 3.
First pitch in there to Jacob Werner for strike 1. 3-0 the score on 2-out RBI singles from Aiden Bowser and Jackson Chapman.
So make sure you don't say any names wrong, because Coach D will he'll say something.
Ball in the Pebbles, evens count at 1-1.
Hey.
Hey, but shout out to our proud sponsor on the Lawrence County SportsNet,
Yes.
Brian Zarenda.
Yeah, and by the way, he's going to be playing at PNC Park.
Yeah,
here.
you saw that too, huh?
Yeah, going to be playing at Olsh, I believe it is, isn't it? Aaron, I forget what day it was, but anyways, hope you get the privilege to play down there.
Swung on a miss, runner going down to second base, and it's going to be in time. Good adjustment this time. Pallarino comes across the bag and catches Chapman on the caught stealing, but damage done to begin here today. 3 runs on 3 hits. There was an error, and after the caught stealing, no runners left on the bags. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning, but first a quick message from our powering sponsor, the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
Heading to the bottom of the first inning, now we'll flip the script and we'll take a look at the starting lineup hitting-wise for the Neshannock Lancers. Senior shortstop Jack Leese will lead it off. Sophomore Dom Cubelis will bat second. Andrew Fry hitting third. Cleanup hitter is a DH Grant Melder. He's hitting for the pitcher Walzer. Rinn, the catcher, will bat fifth, and that's Nate Rinn. Gio Valentine hitting sixth, playing first base. Jake Rinn in right field, he'll hit seventh. Luke Gleese in left field will hit eighth, and Matt Pallarino, the second baseman, hitting ninth. Gleese, Cubelis, Fry, Melder, Rinn, Valentine, Jake Rinn, Gleese, and Pallarino in the batting order for Coach Q's Neshannock Lancers. Lee Moan has our alignment.
Yeah, it's going to be Warner on the behind the plate. Jackson Chapman first, Fadden second, Rona short. Pizzolo at third. From left to right, it's Hopper, Nail, and Hopper. That's Mason in left and Keegan in right. You already have warm-up in the bullpen down there. There's a Jackson
Latta,
Latta. Yeah, just Jackson Latta. Can't see the other one there. That's
that Alberico, I think.
16. It's going to be
16. I'm sorry, it's Thomas Morrell. So Morrell, who has appeared in each of the 2 games so far for the Neshannock Lancers.
Yeah, because Mr. Walzer threw a lot of pitches there in that first inning.
Get you the official count here in a moment, as
I'm sure you will.
Werner will come up to the dish.
So Jack Gleese will lead things off.
Righty on righty. Again, 2 tall right-handed pitchers. Werner first pitch in there for strike 1. Werner also 1-1 on the year. He's been a pitch-to-contact guy, very efficient. 7 strikeouts in 9 innings, but only 1 walk, and that's the big difference so far of what we've seen from these two pitchers. And working quickly is Werner. This one chopped between the shortstop and third baseman, and Jack Lee stays hot to start the year, hitting .600 coming into today and gets the leadoff single.
And that's why he's batting leadoff right there. The three sports star, basketball and football and Jack.
Yeah, remember the pitch count limit is 100. Walls are through 27 there in the top of the first inning. 2 pitches thrown from Werner and a leadoff single from Gleese will bring Dom Cubelis to the plate, also hitting over 500 on the season. Cubelis and Fry in the on-deck circle. They have 11 of the team's 18 RBI on the season, as this one's fouled out of play down the right field, or excuse me, the left field line.
Yeah, this can be our last season. We're going to get a chance to talk about the Gleese, the quadruplets.
Yes.
They're all going to be graduating this year. Jenna on the volleyball team, and then Gleese is doing a little bit of everything here in Neshannock.
Luke in left. Rob expected potentially in a pinch hit or defensive role. And Jack now standing at first base, the shortstop and leadoff hitter, who had one incredible postseason run in the basketball tournament, did he not?
Oh, my gosh. He caught fire. Yeah, tough luck, some tough games, unfortunately.
Yeah, state quarterfinals. Lancers victorious and not victorious, as it was Deer Lake's Lancers taking down Neshannock in that game, which, I mean, both of these coaches will tell you, they love when they don't get their players until the end of March, and then they hate that they don't get their players till the end of March.
Yeah, talk to Aliquip about that. Coach Lakovich, that happens every year for him.
Fastball upstairs makes the count 1-2 to Cubelis.
Except his is in football, the basketball, so he gets his basketball players 4 days before the start of the season.
Cubelis will step back into the box.
Yeah, Cabela's part of that Pony League World Series a couple years ago.
Runner goes. This one chopped foul down the first baseline. Remains 1-2. Gleese will have to return back to first. Yeah, he and Jake Rinn both part of the Pony League World Series and both instrumental in that state tournament, state championship game run.
Played for what, Youngstown, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Randy Gore from part of our network here at times, and Laney Fratteri had a chance to see him play down there and call a couple of his games.
1 ball, 2 strike the count here in the bottom of the first inning. Mohawk already with 3 on the board in the top of the first. Fastball up and away, evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, I know I'm getting old now because Laney Fratteri's name doesn't mean a lot anymore. So the ex-voice of the Pirates.
You tell you what, you'd be surprised how many of my students, when I said Laney Fratteri, who was doing one of their basketball games, said, wait, the Pirates guy, right?
Oh, there you go.
So
That's good to hear.
I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball drilled towards first base and having to get out of the way. His Gleese now getting on his horse just to get to second base in time. That ball hits him, he's out, but instead it's back-to-back singles to start the day for Neshannock.
And he stays out of the way of Bobby Fadden at first base, too, no interference call either.
Chapman at first, right?
Chapman, okay, I'm sorry. Did I write that down wrong? I sure did. My fault.
No, you did. You're good.
No, Chapman, okay, my fault.
You just didn't read your own writing correctly.
No, I just looked at second base. That's all. Who's on first? Yeah, but somehow, staying away from that also. So, in business here in the first. And this is who you want up.
Fry, who, again, led the team in ribbies a year ago, but it swings on a first pitch offering here. Great off-speed pitch from Werner.
I did not realize how big he is. Well put together is Andrew Fry.
They'll be going to Slippery Rock next year.
Runner takes off. That's an easy steal.
But having to swing at it was Fry. Didn't have to swing at it, but chose to and fouled it off. Yeah, Gleese read that one perfectly.
Oh, my gosh. Gleese was 25 feet away before the pitch was even thrown.
That's a tough one because, as a base or as a batter, you want to say, hey, if you see that, to let him go. But even though he's going from second to third, you're not watching that. You're watching the pitcher.
Understand. Boy, that's a bad break there.
Obviously, Gleese saw something in terms of Werner, who doesn't even check this time. And it doesn't matter. It's going to be a seeing eye single to left field. Station to station go the Lancers, all aboard. And the cleanup hitter, Grant Melder, will come to the plate.
It's a good start. Three singles and a thought maybe Coach Molarano might come out, but not.
Coach Q giving the signals down at third base. Coach Kurt Latta, by the way, coaching at first, and won't be a Pontius Insurance trip to the mound from Coach Mariano, but you like seeing this, Verdi and Rona going out and talking to their senior hurler.
And our out-of-town scoreboard sponsored by the Crane Room. It's now 17-0
Neshannock. It's in the second inning.
Second inning, yeah.
You know,
so that's going to be a 2.5. That's going to be a 3-inning game.
2.5, yeah.
Yeah.
You love when, 11 spot in the first inning, you can only see the 1 on the scoreboard.
Yeah. That's all they can put up.
Bases loaded. Grant Melder, the DH, watching the first pitch miss downstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, Melder's going to be off the Penn State Shenango.
Yeah, actually, these two will be teammates next year. Yeah. Werner also going to Shenango. First-year program next year, so these players will be part of the inaugural season for the Shenango Lions.
Yeah, there's a strike, had the heartbreak loss, or no decision out in the state finals, the 7 2/3, a shutout ball.
Melder, we weren't even sure he was going to be able to throw by the time he got to that state championship game. He suffered an ankle injury in probably the most bizarre of ways as he watches this one for strike 2 on the outside corner. That was in the WPIAL semifinals. That was the game you started with
Randy
Gore.
Yeah.
It went 12 innings. You had to go cover a different game.
Yeah, one of your games. Or no, I had to cover the North Allegheny, whatever it was. I think a separate sport, I think.
It was, and it was supposed to be a 7 o'clock game. Breaking ball off the end of the bat, little dribbler with a lot of English towards first base. Werner has to get it, backhanded throw in time. So it's going to go like a pseudo-sacrifice, but it will work for the first RBI and first run across the board for Neshannock on the put-out 1-3.
Boy, that's a nice play by Warner to stay with that. You said that ball had a lot of English in that turf, and it's not going to die as it would in the outfield. That ball kept on rolling, but he did a nice job picking up bare hand and making the quick flip.
Before Nate Rind comes up to the plate, Nate Rind, the senior catcher, hitting fifth. It was in extra innings. They had a double squeeze in the 12th inning of that game against Burgettstown and got injured, not running home, but celebrating the play. Ground ball to third base, throw to the plate, and plenty of time to get the out as Cubelis is caught red-handed. Vinny Pizzullo, great play, great fire, and Verdi just waiting for him.
Yeah, the old contact play, just run as soon as the ball's hit, and unfortunately, the ball hit right at the third baseman. Easy play for Pizzullo.
So Rind reaches on a fielder's choice. He'll check out for your Castle Asphalt courtesy runner. It's going to be Andrew Moses running at second base, and that'll bring Gio Valentine to the plate. Checks his swing. Ball 1 is the call. Valentine, who also had a flair for the dramatics, extra inning walk-off win, also against Burgettstown, that in the state semifinals that sent the team to Happy Valley. The 1-0 with 2 down. Popped up, shallow center field. Actually a little bit deeper than originally thought. Nail was able to settle under it and make the out to end the inning. Neshannock able to get 1 back on 3 hits, but they leave 2 runners stranded on the bags. We've played 1 complete here from Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field. Mohawk leading Neshannock 3-1, 1 versus 2 here at lcsportsnet.com and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
To the top of the second inning, we go here at lcsportsnet.com, the Triple Live High School Sports Network. And if you're following on Game Changer, hopefully you're enjoying a different sound to go along with the sights. Lee Moan just learning about the Game Changer app and how much of a game changer it has been here.
It really has been.
For us especially, as we're able to follow along with the teams throughout the course of the year as well.
Yeah, by the way, that stolen base was brought to you by the Health and Motion Physical Therapy in the first inning, and keeping you moving on the base pass. No referral needed to visit Health and Motion Physical Therapy.
Now we thank Mike Mirko for that, and ask us to remind you when you start getting that arm trouble, physical therapy, especially with their newbie system. Great way to get you back in the game a lot quicker. 1-1 pitch here is fouled back. This is Jacob Werner now facing a 1-2 count. Werner, who was at the plate when Chapman tried for one of those Health and Motion swiped bags, but was caught stealing by Rind and Pallarino. The 1-2 from Walzer. I think froze everybody. Did not check the swing. From up here, again, we can't tell on the height, but it looked like it was over the plate, but probably a little bit low.
Yeah. You said Werner's going to Penn State Shenango, right?
That is correct.
Okay, I did not see that. Add that to my little notes for next time.
2-2 pitch misses upstairs, so full count to Werner leading off here in the top of the second inning.
Because this time of year, we pick press boxes.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
And Mohawk has a press box, so I'm sure we'll be doing a couple games over there.
Payoff pitch, foul back to the screen. Count remains full. And again, when you have Mohawk, Neshannock, Shenango, Elwood all in this section, throw in Riverside, who's just obviously incredible. Riverside also who has moved up to 3A to stay with these local teams.
And with the grandfather of baseball down there.
Called strike 3 on the outside corner, your first strikeout of the game for either team of the backwards variety to start the top of the second inning.
Good pitch outside corner, froze him.
13th K of the year for Walzer. That brings up first of the Twins, Mason and Keegan Hopper. Mason in left, Keegan in right. The 8 and 9 hitters for the Warriors.
Mason Hopper, also a good golfer, fouls the first pitch off.
Off of his leg. 0-1 the count. Yeah, Mohawk wearing their road grays, very traditional as Coach Mariano. Road grays, and then the home games as well.
That pitch just missed outside. Good location there, though, for Walzer.
Yeah, evens the count at 1-1. And other than the 0-2 breaking ball that Verdi poked in the right field, I mean, most of his pitches actually were in the proper locations. This one just misses inside as well. 2-1 to count.
Yeah, Walzer a little bit of bad luck there. One good hit ball, that one went in the right field, but other than that.
2-1 count. This one fisted down the first baseline and foul. Count even at 2-2.
Yeah. Just don't let. Do not want to do a game of Riverside though.
We had some fun with that one, didn't we?
Yeah. I almost lost my equipment in there. Yes, Mr. Vidge.
Yeah, Vidge was not there for that one.
Yeah.
2-2 just misses upstairs. Count runs full again.
Well, we made the mistake of trying to put four extension cords together. That was our first mistake.
We were told there was power down there.
There was. It's just we needed 4 extension cords.
Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Back-to-back Ks for Walzer to start here in the top of the second inning.
Thank God somebody noticed the smoke coming. Just in time.
Keegan Hopper trying to be the smoke from the 9-hole to start the fire, turning it over to the top of the order. But watches the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1, but keep an eye on this. That's pitch number 40 already from Walzer.
And he's also a golfer, like his brother.
Strike 2 called on the outer half. Count even 0-2 with 2 down. We're still in spring training.
That's your type of math.
Strike 3 swung on and missed, and then Rind applies the tag. Walzer strikes out the side in the top of the second inning. Score remains 3-1. Back in a moment. Lawrence County Baseball here at lcsportsnet.com and listening live on Game Changer.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
That was awesome.
Back in Neshannock High School, 3-1, excuse me, here in the bottom of the second inning as Mr. Dawson had to go run an errand. Make sure you check on his toys, I'm guessing. 7-8-9 hitters for Neshannock. Jake Rinn, Luke Gleason, and Matt Pallarino will go up against pitcher Jacob Warner for Mohawk. As the skies are starting to cloud up a little bit here. First pitch curveball is going to be a strike. Yeah, Jake Rinn was a part of that Pony League World Series, as Mr. Dawson alluded to earlier. Another pitch just down low. You can hear Coach Pallarino wanted that one. It's that wind blown towards center field right now. Comes the 1-1. That's up high, ball 2. And the final score over in the Neshannock, 17-0. They defeat Freedom. Your out-of-town scoreboard sponsored by the Crane Room. You can grab a seat in the bar, in the dining room, or the loft, or definitely outside in the patio today. Ball lifted to left field lines. It's going to stay fair. Nope, will drop foul and plug. The count will go to 2-2. So quick work by the Neshannock Lancers. Your state champion, defending state champion, the Neshannock Lancers. Let's count it now, Vidge. I got 14 state championship shirts now. 10 from North Allegheny, or 11 from North Allegheny, 2 from the Neshannock, and one latest, the Union Scotties. That pitched in the dirt, ball 3. Yeah, poor James wasn't able to get one because they didn't have the design ready for by the time the game was done. It never came in, so I had to get it in the mail. They mailed it to me. So I said, well, James, just get yours from the red zone. So I'm sure the red zone probably has them. Comes the payoff pitch. Up high, ball 4, leadoff walk. Good at bat there for Jake Rinn. Bring up Luke Gleason. Luke Gleason, part of that basketball team. He's going to get the timeout. Luke Gleason 0 for 5 on the early season. Actually 2 for 5, excuse me. No, 0 for 5, I was right. In this early season. Gets the bunt down perfectly, right back to the pitcher. Easy, complete sacrifice there, 1-4. Rinn goes down to second. Nicely done there by Luke Gleason. So bring up Matt Pallarino, the number 9 hitter. The sophomore. Pallarino also 2 for 5 this year. Early on. 3-1 Mohawk here in the bottom of the second. First pitch strike. And Mr. Dawson's done playing with his toy. Actually, he has a bigger toy now.
The little one's going to play with the toy.
Oh, look out. Foul ball back to the screen. Well, at least he's learning to love baseball, and, you know, you don't have him in front of a TV set watching racing anyways.
No, that was yesterday.
Yeah, jeez. Augie, you got to forget about that racing stuff.
Fat chance.
Count 0-2. Comes the pitch. Oh, great and breaking ball just up high a little bit.
Yeah, that's the kind of pitch, Lee, that's tough to see from up at our angle.
Yeah.
Lee was going to take over in the middle 3. He didn't realize that, but he's just going to take over a little bit early now.
Yeah, I could tell that now.
Yeah.
Well, let little Augie enjoy himself. Comes the 1-2. That's up high just a little bit, ball 2. Took something off that one.
Well, 7, 8, 9 went down in order from Mohawk in the top of the second. Neshannock getting a leadoff walk, only the second walk of the year issued by Werner. Let's see if Neshannock now can capitalize after the walk and the sacrifice.
Comes the 2-2. That's popped up. Going to go out of play. Boy, Augie's being pretty good there.
Hey, he's enjoying. He's learning.
He's learning as I say that.
You know, he saw who was sitting up above him. I don't blame him for being scared here either.
There you go.
Yeah, there. Now you're taller than Lee.
Okay. There comes the 2-2 again. That's going to stay up high, ball 3. Rind at second. That's Jake Rind at second. As Augie's going to go take a walk. The dad duties. He's going to do what he's going to do, you know. As long as he's done by 6. Ballerina's going to step out. And then the Neshannock bench getting loud over there to our left. There's the payoff pitch. Drilled into left field, but it's going to be right at the left fielder. Easy catch there for Mason Hopper. Going back to second is Rin, 2 outs. Hit it right on the money, but unfortunately right at Mason Hopper. Bring up the top of the order and Jack Gleese. Jack Gleese, we mentioned one of the 4 parents, Rob and Kelly Gleese.
Gleese, Cubelis, and Fry all singled in the first.
That's popped down the right field line, and it's going to be his fair ball. Just inside the line, Gleese is going to take off for second on the throw to home. Great heads up running by Gleese. So an RBI single.
Talk about painting a line. That could not have been any closer.
Just inside the line.
And home plate umpire Doug Brown said it did just nick the white on the grass. And as you said, Jack heads up getting to second base as the throw came into the plate.
Yeah, it's one of those you just got to look at the umpire to find out if it was fair or foul, and he says it was. And there's no way you can appeal to the umpire on that one because the base umpire had no clue. You know, he's not in a good position there, so you have to depend on that umpire.
Yeah, the only time that's a base umpire's call is if it, and I know Ricky Gabriel, the umpire extraordinaire, great friend to us at the network, he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but
I'm sure he will.
Down the first base line, if the first base umpire is still at first because there's no one on base,
right,
and only if there are lines painted in the outfield like there are. If there's no lines, then it's automatically the home plate umpire's call no matter what.
Yeah, swing and a miss by Cabellas. Now, as a high school softball umpire, it's always the home plate umpire no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what it is. You have baseball, little different roles for the umpires.
That's why I give
5 out of play.
That's why I give big props to anybody who can do that and go back and forth.
No, I don't know how they do it. Mr. Yakitis does that. I don't know how he does it with between baseball, softball. It's a 3-2 here in the bottom of the second inning. 0-2 count to Don Cabellas. You just let Augie run loose?
No, he found a baseball. He's good now.
Okay. Comes the 0-2. Swing and a miss high. Fastball, strike 3. But Neshannock cuts it to 1. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left. At the end of 2, it's 3-2. Mohawk leading over Neshannock. You're listening and watching the high school basketball.
That's your one.
There's my one. It's now baseball here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Yeah, welcome back to Neshannock High School. Bubba Kirkwood Field, 3-2. Good battle between number 1 versus number 2 here today.
Are you surprised?
Not at all.
Are you not entertained?
I'm very entertained.
And again, we thank everybody for joining us, whether you're watching on YouTube, lcsportsnet.com, Facebook Live, Trib Live High School Sports Network, and now on Game Changer as well.
There are so many ways to catch high school baseball right now. Have all the video rights, which is good, up until the championship game. But we'll be able to bring a lot of live. Might have a few audio broadcasts sprinkled in. And got to cut the music. There's the music. This is why it's called home field advantage. Let the music play, while they're pitching. Why not? Coach M there didn't like that. Coach Maliarno. Oh, well. So Bobby Fadden steps in. He's 0 for 1, flew out to right field his first time up, first pitch ball.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, top of the order due up here for Mohawk in the top of the third inning.
So Walser, after that shaky first, struck out the side in the second, and this one fisted back up towards the middle. And it's going to be an infield single as Pallarino got to it, but could not make a play.
Yeah, even if he does field that cleanly at the back of the infield turf, you're not getting the speedy Bobby Fadden.
Not at all.
Hitting .273, but has a lot of those where have been bang-bang plays on groundouts. You got to be perfect, and that's the 4th hit of the game now for Mohawk.
So bring up A.J. Verdi, who got his first hit in the top of the first inning. Came around to score the game's first run. Takes first pitch up high ball. Yeah, it looks like a JV game or a junior high game going to be on our softball field now. There's a strike. So Verdi mentioned his name quite a bit on the football team this year. Snap throw over the first, back safely is Fadden. You making lineup changes in the game changer too there?
Absolutely.
Jeez, oh man.
The binoculars are almost obsolete at this point. Almost.
Not for me.
Tell you what is obsolete. I swear there are no coaches out there that do traditional hand signals down at third base or coming in for a pitch. It's all these number combinations now.
Ball 3 outside, snap throw on the first, back safely is Bobby Fadden.
Yeah, with where that one was and just the way that wind went all in the same motion, wonder if that, you wouldn't think that was a design pitch out on a 2-1 count, but it almost looked like it.
Yeah, you hear coaches, all you heard down there, 6-5-3, 2-2-5. And that's what it's coming down to these days. Comes the 3-1, that's outside ball 4, so first 2 runners on.
Neshannock had the first 3 runners on in their first at bat. Leadoff runners on in both innings for Neshannock. Mohawk, this is the first time they've had the leadoff man on, and it brings up their 3-hitter, Jay Rona. By the way, Verdi leads the team. 4th time he's been walked. Catcher's got eyes.
And Talon Swanson will be your Castle Asphalt courtesy runner. So Jay Rona, who walked and scored his first time up. Mohawk trying to break this game open a little bit here. Leading 3-2 here in the top of the first. First pitch up high, ball 1. No warm up in the bullpen yet. Had it at the end of the first inning we had, and see if they maybe get someone up here. Comes the 1-0. There's a strike. It catches the corner. Nice crowd on hand, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Today.
I mean, no surprise. Finally get a good day of weather to deal with.
Comes the 1-1, squaring around the bunt and gets it down the first base line. Walser picks it up in fair territory, makes the throw over the first, and he is out at first. I was looking for the umpire call there, but a good sacrifice there by Rona.
Yeah, that's a tough play, too, because that ball had a lot of spin. There was a chance it could have gone foul, but it was deadened. And at that point, basically, you got to make the decision quickly. You can't wait and then decide, oh, now I'm going to pick it up. And Walser, a good quick fire. And how about that? Pallarino, second baseman cover, not the biggest of targets, reached up there quickly to snag it. But successful Rona sacrifice puts 2 runners in scoring position. Almost looked like he was bunting for a base hit there. It just turns into a sacrifice, too. So Bowser steps in, ground out right back up through the middle. That's going to get the run. Gleese will throw on the first for the out. That's an RBI single for Pizzolo. And that moves Swanson to third base. So that's the small ball that Mohawk can play. They worked it all through the district playoffs last year. We saw a lot of suicide squeeze from them. Wondered if you might see that there, but the freshman getting it done just puts a ball in play. And again, that one even looked like Walser had a chance to get it off the bat, but it took, did you see the spin off the turf? Now it's Aiden Bowser who takes first pitch strike. Bowser, the RBI single in the first inning. 4-2 Mohawk. Walser trying to get out of trouble here. There's a good fastball strike, 0-2. We've seen that a couple times. He's gotten a runner in second or third base, and then comes back and pounds the zone. That's all you can ever ask for, but he was up 0-2 on Bowser the first time in the at-bat, and Bowser was able to put one in play up the middle. Ball just slapped towards short. Gleese going to be a tough play. Charge throw, and he's off the bag. Said he was off the bag. Runner will score. From this angle, I thought he held it. I did too, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to get any sort of appeal from the home plate umpire, and I think Coach Q is going to ask. But he's going to say, I mean, you're just going to say, and Brown's going to say, yeah, I mean, if I can see he's pulled off, I can definitely call it that way, but I can't really overturn and say, yeah, he definitely held it. And that's exactly what it is, though. That's a great pitch, but a better piece of hitting. You put something in play, you use the legs to your advantage. Bowser leads the team with 3 stolen bases, including 1 today. He showed off the legs there, legging it out. Yeah, boy, I'm surprised that umpire, at least in, anyways, first pitch, that's lined into the left center field for a base hit by Chapman. And stopping at second base will be Bowser. Yeah, I mean, in softball, anyways, and Walter's going to, I think he's going to get pulled right now. As Coach Q's going to get the trip to the mound right now. Now the Ponchers Insurance trip to the mound. You can call Agent Dan Ponches, Jessica Whelan, or Tracy Giddings to get started today. You can visit PonchesInsurance.com to request a quote for auto, home, business, or life insurance. Yeah, I mean, as a softball umpire, you come out, you talk, you go out to the base umpire and say, hey, can you talk to him about that? Mm-hmm. And he just went straight to the home plate umpire, so I was sort of surprised in that aspect because, you know, the base umpire sometimes will just come in and say, hey, what's for dinner? You know, it's like, well, thanks for checking, you know. But you and I thought he held that bag, but apparently he must have just came off just a little bit. And because of the wide signal, you have to rule that an error on the throw, correct? I'm not, because it was such a tough play. Okay. And you know what? I mean, Neshannock's game changer even ruled it an infield hit, so that was where I was going. So it will be an RBI single, so 2 RBI singles for Aiden Bowser, both coming on 0-2 counts. Boy, Walter just had bad luck today here, hasn't he? Well, it's this middle of the order that's been huge. Aiden Bowser 2 for 2 with a pair of RBIs. Jackson Chapman 2 for 2 with an RBI. But not a lot of hard hit balls, though. 3 hits this inning, 2 are of the infield hit variety. First pitch. And now wild pitch. And that's a wild pitch. That'll move up the runners, and that ball almost goes out of play. Yeah, it does. It's just one from the mound. Right. But so Bowser to third, Chapman the second. And Warner, who struck out his first time up, a chance to really break this game open. They got 2 runs here in the third. They're up 5-2. Comes the 1-0. That's way outside. Good stop there by Rind. I don't think he was expecting that. Nah, the last 2 pitches just have not come out of the hand right. And that's going to get some movement in that Neshannock bullpen. Yeah, Morrell back up and loosening up. Comes the 2-0. There's a strike at the knees. Still in this game, though. I mean, you could really crack down right now as the lights come on here. Yeah, a little cloudy all of a sudden, and get the lights on early. Comes the 2-1.
That's a strike in the corner. Ball has some movement on it, that fastball.
Yeah, he's got a nice little tailing action on the fastball. A little tail in on a righty, it looks like.
Big pitch here for Walser. Count it 2-2. Comes the pitch, ground ball, slowly hit. Gleese will throw over and get the out. So two runs. 1, 2, 3 hits. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. And a 2.5. It's 5-2. You're listening and watching the high school baseball here on the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP, and it's your live high school sports network.
Lee, it's time for tradition. The middle of third inning,
yes.
It's time for our Melee Minute, keeping you informed on the softball news and notes across Lawrence County.
Well, we already had our one final. Or 17-0 final on the Neshannock win today.
That makes Neshannock 3-0 on the year. Defending state champs now 3 Mercy Rule victories. Addie Fry and Jaden Nogue each with 3 RBI. Yeah, that's Jaden Nogue, the third Nogue sister now getting involved. Literally just replacing her sister in the batting order. Not officially. Erilyn moved up to the 1 spot and Jaden's batting second, but I digress.
Still got Nogue to Nogue.
Mohawk is still undefeated. The Lady Warriors are 3-0 is Mohawk. They had a 12-7 win over Union and a 13-3 win over Newcastle last week. Big games for McKenna Stewart and Miley Pistorius in the win against Newcastle. Laurel's going to be good again. Grace Kissick and Grace Zeppelin opening day home runs. They're hosting Mohawk today, by the way, in that game. Elwood City also undefeated at 3-0. They've allowed just 1 run in each game. Ellie Calancis a double and a triple against Shenango. They're at Hopewell here today. Newcastle at 1-2. Olivia Hood with a 2 pair of RBI in that game against Mohawk. They had an extra innings win against Butler in their opener. Shenango, they're 1-1. The loss to Elwood. They also defeated Aliquippa in section play. Kennedy Lynn threw a no-hitter while also hitting a double and triple against the Quips. The defending WPIAL champion Union Scotties are 1-1. How about this? Mia Prew's 2 home runs in the same inning in a 22-0 win over Carleton. Yeah, you heard that right, 22-0. And Wilmington up in D10, 3-0 by a combined score of 43-2. Paige Peterson, Maylee Whiting, Avery Harlan, Faith Jones, and Paige Peterson again, all with dingers on the year. There's your Melee Minute, brought to you by Melee Chiropractic, keeping you in the game as we keep you in the game with the softball news across the county.
Yeah, we go to the bottom of the third. 3, 4, 5 hitters for Neshannock, trailing 5-2 here in the bottom of the third. Andrew Fry, who singled his first time up. Outfield kind of deep. What do you say? What a surprise. First pitch a little low for Andrew.
And Werner working the bottom of the zone, also not a surprise. How about this? Here's going to be the big stat. I'll get it to you after this 1-0 pitch here from Werner. The big stat comparison between Werner and Walser on the bump.
That ball fisted toward third base, and Bizzolo makes the throw, and it's a foul ball.
Yeah, it was a dead ball. It hit off the foot of Fry, and he's got the padding on there because he broke that foot, Lee, during basketball season. It was just the second or third game of the year that he broke the foot. He's in some serious pain, you can tell right now. He's not been to 100% health. He's been cleared to play, but you can tell even as he's running out there, it's not been at full
What else
strength.
could go wrong with him?
And that's the thing. All you cared about once he went down with the injury in basketball, when you knew there was no chance he was getting back during the hoop season, all you cared about was that his future in baseball. You wanted to get him his senior year, especially like you said, after missing last year. And now in your first section game, you foul one off of your injured foot. Unreal.
Well, his sister's doing quite well, though.
Addie, just a sophomore, but not sure if she was in the circle here today or not.
No, she might have been just for the beginning, maybe.
Yeah, she and Abigail Measle have done a good job of sharing the load last 2 years.
That one's ripped. Bizzolo will make the catch, though, at third base. Hit it right on the line. Bizzolo didn't have to jump for it, but right at him.
Easier said than done, though, because that ball is going to have a lot of movement curling towards the line as well. The freshman, good job to hang on to it, but that's one. You just fouled one off your foot. You're angry. You put everything into it, and you hit an atom ball right to the hot corner.
Yeah, Grant Melder will step in and has the RBI. In the right center field, giving Chase his nail, and he's not going to be able to get it. And that ball drops in the right center field, and on the second base will be Melder with a one-out double.
Only the second hit of the year for Grant Melder, but they're both extra base hits, and Neshannock again for the third straight inning, getting a runner into scoring position. That'll bring Nate Rind to the plate. But one thing I wanted to mention about the difference between Walzer and Werner at the moment. So far, you've had 12 batters faced by Werner. He's thrown 9 first pitch strikes. On the other side for Walzer, he has faced now 15 batters.
Let me guess, 4?
6.
Okay. So definitely not a.
And I missed 7 because you had Werner had 2 first pitches.
And that's going to drop in the right field for a base hit. And stopping at third because he got a late jump there was Melder. He had to make sure that ball was going to drop in.
Yeah, a little flare to right from Rind. You had to exactly that. Make sure it fell. I think Melder's a little upset with himself that he didn't read it better off of the bat. But second time Rind's been on base, reaching on fielder's choice, and now a single. Moses will run for him again. Here comes Gio Valentine.
And that's your courtesy runner sponsored by Castle Asphalt. And now we're going to have
another Pontius Insurance trip to the mound, huh?
Trip to the mound, yep. Pontius Insurance. Love the life you live, worry-free. That's Pontius Insurance with Mohawk up 5-2 here in the bottom of the third inning.
Give a shout-out again to Aaron Vigiano. I was reaching over and hitting buttons for him because we got it all set up today. We're both still kind of learning some of the fun things that we've got set up here for you.
Well, you're always the land of misfit toys here, you know. You never know what you're going to pull out and see what's going to work, what might not work.
Look, that's all we're going to do. We're going to keep finding something new that we can do.
But it usually works, though.
So far, well, when you got Vigi in the house, we're going to try just about everything. So Moses will courtesy run at first, Grant Melder at third. By the way, these two teams in Mariano's now 5th season, 6th year, they've played each other a total of 6 times. Neshannock won the first 5, but Mohawk last year in non-section play put a drubbing on Neshannock. 15-1 was the score in that game. Meant to ask Coach Mariano about that. Did that give a little, fire of like, hey, we've hit here. We know what we can do here.
Valentine, first pitch a little low. Good stop there by Verdi.
But even though it is a year ago, yes, those are things that kids remember. They remember coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Putting a licking on a team like that. Now, I'll tell you what, I know Neshannock remembering it the other way around, like we're not letting that happen again.
So Melder at third, Moses at first. Here comes the 1-0, dribbler right back to the mound. That's going to score a run, though, as he's out at first base is Gio Valentine, but an RBI single. Going down the second will be Andrew Moses, excuse me.
And that's one, because it was off the end of the bat, it had a lot of spin. I'm not sure Werner ever considered going to home. If he did, he may have had a chance to get Melder, but Melder read it perfectly, got the good enough jump, and basically figured that Werner was not even going to take a chance.
So 2 outs. Moses at second. Jake Rinn walked and scored his first time up and puts one in the left center field, and that's going to be a base hit. It's going to drop. Coming around third is Moses, and he will score. 5-4 now. RBI single for Jake Rind.
Jake picking up where he left off. He was, throughout most of the state and WPIAL playoffs, more of a pinch hit specialist, but it felt like every time he was up, he was doing something big. And you hear the yes, yes, yes from the Neshannock dugout as they've answered. Mohawk scored 3 in the first. Neshannock 1 in the bottom of the first. They got another 1 in the bottom of the second, and now respond to Mohawk's 2 in the top of the third with 2 of their own.
Yeah, good try there by Mason Hopper. Good backup, though, by J.J. Nail out there as the first pitch swinging. Fouls it back to Luke Gleese. Yeah, parents Robin Kelly with a quadruplets. He was his mother in the hospital for 48 days with a Gleese, was Kelly Gleese. The ball goes in the center field for a base hit, and stopping at second will be Rind with 2 outs.
So Neshannock now 4 hits in the inning. They're starting to team up. That's 8 hits in the game they've got off Werner, but still trailed by 1. Matt Pallarino looking to get involved. 400 hitter coming into today.
Yeah, Gleese's mother Kelly, 48 days, and then finally going to have the quadruplets. And Rob was lost. He was out and about and was lost in Pittsburgh and got a police escort and got there just in time for the delivery.
So you said 48 days in the hospital?
Yeah.
I'm sure she wishes it was at least 4 or 5
And-
years
and-
afterwards.
And Rob spent he only missed 3 of those days. He was in the with her. That 3 out of the 48 he missed, and the one day he missed
is when it finally came.
when it finally happened. So a swing and a miss, strike one.
Yeah, Werner took a little off of that one and got Pallarino out in front. I'll tell you what, if I had to deal with 4 kids at home, I don't know Jenna, but knowing the 3 boys, can you keep me in the hospital at least 48 days after, too, please?
Here comes the 1-1. That's roped in the left field, the base hit, coming around third, and he will score. We have a tie ball game. 5-all RBI single for Matt Pallarino.
And Jake Rinn, not the fastest runner in the world, but a great base runner, smart base runner. Did you see how deep his lead was? Cuts off the corner by making that deep, deep turn as he hits the inside of third base. Lee, that's just great coaching, great fundamentals the whole way to score from second base. And how about your 7, 8, 9 hitters, each with singles with 2 outs to turn the order over?
So 5 hits here in this third inning, tying this game up. I guess I will be listening to you on the way home.
Yes, you will.
Yeah, back to Rob Glees. He was lost behind the CMU campus because he was on Route 51 during rush hour traffic in South Hills. Made it to CMU, got lost. That was the day before GPSs and all that stuff. So they found the track, got the track down there. As the first pitch, a little up high to Jack.
Quick question for you here, Lee. I thought early in the year pitching's supposed to outperform hitting.
Supposed to.
We got a 5-5 game in the third.
Comes the 1-0. That's ball third base, and he's going to run the third and get the out. Vinny Pizzolo. But 3 runs on 5 hits. No errors and stranded 2 are the Neshannock Lancers. We have a tie ball game at 5. After 3 innings, you're listening and watching the high school baseball here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP and the Triple I High School Sports Network.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Medore Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services and over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Medore and Michael Bonner, established Medore Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise and personal attention. Guided by their professional staff, you can feel confident your rights will be protected. Call attorneys Jason Medore or Michael Bonner, or visit MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
And welcome back to Neshannock High School. New pitching change. Andrew Fry is going to come into the mound. See what other changes we're going to have here, because Fry replaces Jacob Waltzer, pitched those 3 innings. And Mr. Dawson will have the official stats. And Jake Rinn's going to go to third.
Yeah, Rinn will move to third, it looks like. And I believe that's Moses out and right.
I'll double check for you.
So Walzer will go 3 innings.
Sure is.
3 innings through 63 pitches. He will not factor in a decision. Oops, helps if I knew I was going to mess it up. Jacob Werner and Jacob Walzer. There it is right there. So 3 innings, gave up 5 runs, of which 3 were earned on 6 hits. 3 strikeouts and a pair of walks for Walzer.
So your Medore Bonner Law defensive alignment. Now Andrew Fry is on the mound. Jake Rinn moves from Jake Rinn moves from right field into third base, and then Andrew Moses comes into the game, and he will be in right field. Is your Medore Bonner Law defensive alignment. MedoreBonnerLaw.com, your community firm with a personal connection and individualized service. As Mason Hopper will step in, first pitch swinging as one hopper right to the second baseman, and Matt Pallarino gets the throw over. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning with the game tied at 5. Mr. Dawson just went and ran again. Number 9, Keegan Hopper. Struck out his first time up. Nice curveball there by Andrew Fry. First pitch strike. Andrew Fry steps off the mound, wants another single. Puts the bunt down, and it's a good one. It's going to be a fair ball picked up by Wren. Nice throw over. Get the out. Play goes 1-3, or 2-3, excuse me, as Wren, nice play there. Valentine making the catch. 2 quick outs here at the top of the 4th inning. Yeah, warming up in the Mohawk bullpen, Ethan Hare. We'll see if we see him in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bring up the top of the order, and Bobby Fadden flew out the right and singled and scored in the 3rd. First pitch, there's a strike. So Fry's ankle must be okay after taking that pitch off the foot. Comes the 0-1, a little low. You're starting to remind me of Laney Fratteri. It's like just run off, you know. But that's all right.
We're gonna make it work.
It's a good day to try to make it work. Comes the 1-1. Right back to Andrew Fry, who catches the atom bomb right at him. That was more protection right there. 3 up, 3 down here. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Game tied at 5 between Neshannock and Mohawk. You're listening and watching the high school baseball here in the Lawrence County Sports Network, powered by LCAP and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Building Block Baseball is a local organization dedicated to and actively involved in teaching and development of local baseball talent. 3B provides weekly baseball seminars from January through May to enhance local baseball knowledge for players, coaches, and parents. Building Block Baseball is available for one-on-one development programs, team instructions, and group sections. 3B also provides Lawrence County with their own collegiate summer baseball team. The 3B Barons showcase top collegiate baseball talents of the area. Visit buildingblocksbaseball.com for more information and for their free downloadable documents and videos. Whether you're just learning the game, playing in college, or coaching a team, 3B can get you the building blocks of baseball today.
We're still going to stay in. And welcome back. Go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Good competitive game between number 1 versus number 2. Again, these 2 teams will meet up again tomorrow at Mohawk High School, possibly Mohawk High School. You said possibly a field in Struthers, possibly.
Yeah, they played their game against Quaker Valley out at Scene Park last week. I talked to Coach Mariano before the game, and in talking to him, he said that he's hopeful that they'll play tomorrow. But he said, I love this from a coach. He said, I just want to coach. I don't want to deal with all that. I have great people at the school who are doing everything to figure this out. They're trying to get everything situated with the field. They say that they expect it to be ready, and that's all I go with. And if I have to go on the bus, I'll go on the bus, basically, is the way he put it. But hopeful. So the kids deserve to be getting these home games, and you hope that they get a chance to. Because, personal anecdote I can talk about here after we get this inning started, but that's sometimes par for the course. Those sort of things happen where you got to play elsewhere.
Yeah, we'll bring up Don Kubelis, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Game tied at 5 here in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch a little low. Yeah, it reminds me of what basketball game was played in Ohio in Youngstown.
That was a state semifinal game.
Kennedy Catholic, I believe it was.
Kennedy against
Sharon?
I think it was Farrell.
I think it was Farrell, yeah. Kennedy Catholic and Farrell that played in the state of Ohio that Mr. Greenberg still talks about. First pitch strike.
Well, it's a Pennsylvania State semifinal game that's played in
Ohio. Ohio, yeah.
I'd be talking about that one forever, too.
It's a good game, too. Comes the 1-1. That ball roped foul.
But here's the thing about Coach Mariano is the fact that you've got a pitcher out there, you're number 1. He's throwing. He's not throwing poorly. He's just throwing a lot of strikes, and Neshannock's put the bat on the ball. 9 hits through 3 innings, but you trust that your senior's going to go out there and still compete and pitch to contact. That's all Coach Mariano and all any coach wants. If you throw strikes, you'll pitch for me.
Comes the 1-2. Ball fouled out of play. Yeah, great complex here at Neshannock with the softball field to our right. football field straightaways in center field. Everything has turf here at Neshannock.
I mean, 8 batters came to the plate last inning. How many pitches do you think he threw in that inning?
Probably 22.
15.
Okay. That's roped into right field for a leadoff single. Ball gets away from the right fielder and Moses, but he's able to track it down. Well, that's right. Sorry, Hopper. I'm in spring training form.
That's why we do this, and that's why we get. Hang on, let's crank up the Undertaker. Fun story about the Undertaker theme for Andrew Fry is that was everybody got to pick their themes, what they wanted for their walk-up songs last year, and then Coach Q overruled Fry. It's like, no, it's got to be you got to have the Undertaker theme for Bubba, and he did that, and I think that game he had 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, something insane like that. I said, well, I guess it's not going back now.
Yeah, I think we have our Penn, Ohio, or not Penn, Ohio, except our still trying to get used to these.
Pontius Insurance pitching change?
There you go. I'm going to highlight these stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we will. So let's step aside and get a word from our friends at Pontius Insurance. Tied at 5 in the bottom of the 4th inning.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Weiland, Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance and receive the personalized service you deserve.
Ethan Hare will come to the mound. It'll be his 2nd appearance on the bump this season. Or 3rd appearance, excuse me. He's got a 1-0 record as he got the win in relief in that 2nd Quaker Valley game. Interestingly enough, both Mohawk games against Quaker Valley were done one by mercy rule and one due to weather in the 6th inning. So interesting that that's how you play your first 2 section games. Neither goes the distance, and only one is because of the run rule.
And Jacob Werner will go from the pitcher mound to first base. That's your Medora Bonner Law defensive alignment. The local firm with deep ties in the community. You can visit MedoraBonnerLaw.com to find out how they can serve you.
We'll see where everyone else slots in. It looks like Chapman. Looks like Hare's going to go in Chapman's spot in the lineup, possibly. We'll confirm all that here with our game changer. But while I have a moment, mentioned that they played that game at Scene Park out in Struthers, Ohio. This Neshannock Mohawk rivalry, 15 years ago, we had that same scenario. It was Neshannock back before they had the turf playing on Hess Field. Field wasn't ready. I don't think we played a home game at Hess until maybe April 20th that year. But Mohawks wasn't available to play for like a switch. So what they did, Neshannock was their home game. They wanted to get the game in, so we went out to Scene Park and we played in a classic. And actually, this one's kind of reminded me of it. The final score of that game was 14-10. It was a 4-hour marathon, involved an umpire change in the middle of the game.
I think I remember you reading about that.
Oh, that was those are the types of games that you just remember for years upon years. I only remember the score because I went and looked it back up, but that's one that as soon as I mentioned Scene Park in high school, everybody we play with, they all say the same thing. Like, oh, yeah, that's when the umpire had I think it was a low blood sugar. He passed out a couple of different times, and luckily Mohawk, one of the players, his father was a patch umpire, had his gear in the car, and came in. Duke Wheeler came in and umped the rest of the game.
So Hare on the mound. Andrew Fry steps in.
So Werner goes 3+, gives up 5 runs, all earned, a walk and a K.
First pitch to Fry, strike.
And he is responsible for Cubelis at first base.
And Fry is, let's see, 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored.
By the way, Jackson Chapman moved from first base to center field.
So J.J. Nail not in.
Yeah, so Hare went in as the player being DH'd for.
That's your worry, because I'll be out of here soon. Previous commitments.
If you don't go and bowl a 300 tonight, I will be extremely disappointed.
Well, you better be disappointed already, because that's never going to happen. I'll shoot for 200. Here comes the 0-2. That's a low ball.
Good location. That's where you want to pitch like that, though. Close to the plate, but in nowhere that you're going to get hurt. Down and in. If anything, if Fry even gets his bat to it, if he tries to swing, he's probably going to foul it off of his leg again.
Yeah, glad there's lights here. Oh, really overcast. As Harris steps off, and you can hear
a little bit of life, huh?
Yeah, you hear the life in that Neshannock bench right now. The 1-2 runner takes off. They're going to be safe at second, and Fry's going to be thrown out at first, though. Good play there as Cabellas was running on the pitch, and he definitely beat it there as that coach is going to try to, Coach Mariana,
Mariana.
There you go. Going to go out and
I think they're going to just confirm because there was a collision as Rona basically got cut out by Cubella sliding into second base.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, he slid right into the base. I think that's what Brown, the home plate umpire, Doug Brown, and Jimmy Hart are going to have that discussion just to make sure there was nothing egregious. And I think even Rona kind of came up and looked at Cubella. They both kind of said, hey, you're all right. It was a bang-bang play. Just hustle into the bag. There's no intent to break up a double play there. He beat him to the bag.
No, he had to slide in order to, it was a good play. They're going to talk about it. They better keep it the same because Coach Q might be thrown out of this game if that gets overturned.
Now, I would, if the shortstop Rona had gotten to the bag first, then I could see Coach Marion having a much better argument.
Yeah, so they're going to – I can't hear that well, so that's why I'm going to let you listen to him. So
one down. One down on the board, just one.
Yeah, so we have one out. I'm going to bring up Grant Melder. Runner on second is Cabellas. First pitch inside, ball one. Melder also 1 for 2 on the day. Comes the 0. That ball's low. 2 balls, no strikes.
I'll tell you what, though, because the runner was going, it almost got into a double play because it moved Rona basically right to the bag.
Comes the 2-0. There's a strike. Yeah, I'm sure the Mohawk fans are already screaming, there's only one out. Or the
Neshannock fans.
Neshannock fans. There's only one out. There's only one out.
Blame Jim Ham.
Comes the 2-1. That's down low, ball 3.
Nate Rind in the on-deck circle. He's 1 for 2. Melder with his second extra base hit of the year. You know he's going to be coming out of his shoes on this 3-1 pitch.
And here it comes. There's a strike inside corner. Not a good pitch for Melder to really swing at.
And that's what you say, the one pitch, one spot mentality. Okay, that ball wasn't over the heart of the plate. Let it go. They call it a strike. Oh, well, you have another one coming at you.
Boy, Coach Mariano's switching that outfield a little bit. Comes the payoff pitch. That's low, ball 4.
So first walk issued by Ethan Hare in relief.
Brings up Nate Rind, who's 1 for 2 in the day with a run scored. And the catcher, A.J. Verdi, says, hey, there's only one out. He's just making sure because can't change the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, there should be a way, but we're not going to mess with the edit function.
Yeah, let's just keep it that way. That's a question for another day. First pitch up high, ball 1. As long as the umpire knows it's a fellow umpire, you never trust the scoreboard anyway. So.
No, never.
Always look at that clicker. Here comes the 1-0. That ball's popped up, and it's going to go out of play towards the right side.
Yeah, lots of space in foul territory here at Neshannock, but Ethan Hare quickly realized even with all that room, he was going to run out of real estate. Bottom of the 4th inning, Neshannock has scored in every inning so far, but has not led in the game, Lee.
Game tied at 5. Comes the 1-1. That's up way up high. I'm sure Coach Q's going to be Very aggressive, I would think.
He takes a look at his little note calling sheet.
Comes the 2-1 to Rind. That's up high ball 3.
And that's the thing, though, is how do you balance the aggression with the fact that right now Hare has been all over the zone? And you just saw what Coach Q signaled from the side. Hey, small box, small zone right now in terms of what you want to be swinging at.
And he swings at that one. That's ripped foul down the right field line.
I'll tell you what, he was just a split second early, hit off the end of the bat. He waits back maybe just a quarter second more, and I have a feeling that one might be in one of the gaps. Outfield actually playing a little bit shallow in center and left field right now.
So count goes to 3-2. Comes the pitch. That's low ball 4. Bases are loaded here in the 4th.
So third time that Rind has been on base. So third time Andrew Moses will trot down as your, actually no, it will not be Moses this time because he is in the field. So you're going to need a new courtesy runner now.
He's going to have to run.
No, you can get a new courtesy runner. It's just a matter of who you're going to send.
I thought maybe he was going to run. That's all. That's going to be number 1 here for the Neshannock. It's going to be Adam Brigham, the junior, 5'9" junior infielder. Adam Brigham. So Cabellis at third. Melder at second. Brigham at first. First pitch strike to Valentine, who's 0 for 2 in the day with an RBI.
Corners are up. They're playing for a double play in the middle against Valentine.
Swing and a miss at a low pitch, probably out of the zone. Valentine went chasing.
He thought he could slap shot that one up the middle. Now he's going to have to protect Will the junior.
Comes the 0-2. Way outside that time. Good stop there by Verdi.
And that's trusting your catcher and trusting the pitcher throwing it. That's where you want to throw that as a pitcher. You're hoping that Valentine chases again, but you can only do that if you have a quality catcher who's going to be able to make that sort of stop.
The 1-2 curveball just got a piece of it. Did Rind.
Valentine now 0 for 2 with his second.
Valentine, excuse me. Yeah, thank you.
But does have his second RBI of the season on a ground out in the third. Here in the 4th, looking to give Neshannock their first lead of the game.
I'm going to throw this archive out.
It's not going on your highlight reel?
Here comes the 1-2. That's fouled off.
Lee Moan, I thought you'd be in mid-season form already. You've had 2 or 3 broadcasts already, right?
Well, yeah, we had a volleyball match, but I was the color for that. We had a softball match, and I was the color for that. So
that sounds
when you work for North Allegheny, Randy does the play-by-play.
That sounds like a bunch of excuses there, Lee. I'll tell you what.
That pretty much. But the 1-2 to Valentine again, off speed. It's up a little high.
7th pitch at the at-bat coming. Again, Valentine played hero multiple times throughout the state playoffs. Looking to kickstart things here in the bottom of the 4th. Break this 5-all deadlock.
Boy, Hare taking his time. Gets the 2-2 sign. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Great location of that pitch by Hare. Gets him swinging. Big out.
That's a huge strikeout. Now the corners can go back. 2 down. Jake Rind will come to the plate. First K in relief for Ethan Hare. But bases still loaded. And Jake Rind, who's been on base twice, will come to the plate.
And the Neshannock's already stranded 5 here in the first 3 innings. Rind with one of those RBIs here today. First pitch, slapped it into right field. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run will score. Round third is Melder. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. 2-run RBI with 2 outs. Jake Rind, 7-5 Neshannock.
All he does is hit the ball. He just puts the ball in play. Last hit he had was a much stronger hit than that one. This one, bit of a rug burner between first and second. A diving Bobby Fadden couldn't get to it. But 2 runs come in, and Neshannock takes their first lead of the game.
Bring up Luke Gleese. First pitch to strike. Luke 1 for 2 on the day.
Well, on base 3 times now, Jake Rind, an early nomination for your LCAP Player of the Game award. 3 RBIs to boot.
Comes the 0-1. That's fouled up out of play. So as you mentioned earlier, Neshannock now scoring in every inning here today. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 more here in the fourth. And they lead 7-5 over the number 1 ranked Mohawk Warriors. Comes the 0-2. That's fouled off.
By the way, that first run, Cubelis is charged against Werner, so that closes the book on Werner in his 3+ innings, officially 6 runs allowed. So he is actually the pitcher of record.
Comes the 0-2. That's up high, gets away from the catcher and Verdi, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet.
That's going to be a stolen base credited, though, for Brigham because he was off with the pitch. We'll say Wren will go on a passed ball, but that will be a stolen base for sure for Brigham.
So the count at 1-2. That's popped up. Shallow right field, second baseman going over. And Bobby Fadden will make the catch in shallow right field and foul territory. Neshannock 2 runs. Well, it looks like 3 hits or 2 hits.
2 hits. 2 hits and 2 walks.
2 walks and 2 men left. The 2s are wild. 7-5 with a 2-run lead here at the end of 4 innings. You're listening.
Are you looking to make a difference? Well, here is your opportunity. Lawrence County Child and Youth Services is looking for compassionate foster parents now. If you are over the age of 21, in good health, and wanting to help a child in need, we're in need of you. Receive free training and compensation by becoming a foster parent. Call 724-658-2558 and let Bill, Brooklyn, and Heather get you started. Make a difference and become a foster parent today.
Wherever you're going, Axe can get you there. The bowling alley, beauty salon, and even the library. Axe can get you there safely. The grocery store, the pharmacy, and the bank. Axe can get you there comfortably. Going to work, visiting a friend, or just to relax at the park. Axe can get you there affordably. Axe is here to get you there safely, comfortably, and affordably. Choose Axe as your driving service and give us a call to schedule a ride.
Top of the 5th inning coming your way. I'd say alongside Lee Moan, but he's already running down to his car. He has to go take care of some things in the bowling alley. Aaron Vigiano is about to take the mic. Neshannock has scored in every inning. A 7-5 lead for the Lancers over Mohawk. Battle of 1 versus 2 here at Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field, and it's Andrew Bubba Fry who is on the mound in relief for Neshannock. Gets a called strike 1 to A.J. Verdi. Verdi, Rona, and Pizzulo due up for Mohawk in the top of the 5th inning. Verdi hitting .500 on the year, on base both times so far today. Swings and fouls this one off. Count now 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Fry. Called strike 3, froze him on the outside corner. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Andrew Fry, his first trip on the mound this season. That's his first strikeout here tonight. Since he's come in, he's retired all 4 Mohawk batters that he has faced. Jay Ronan will now come to the plate. Does not have an official at bat. The 3-hitter walked, and then he sacrifice bunted in his second at bat. Watches a called strike 1. And again, the difference so far, 5 batters faced, 5 first pitch strikes from Bubba. This one tails away just down and out. Evens the count at 1-1. One and one the count. Glad you're tuning in. Game Changer, Facebook Live, Trib Live, and of course at lcsportsnet.com. This breaking ball misses inside. 2-1 to count. This one foul back to the screen. Evens the count at 2-2. Rona mentioned earlier a 4-sport athlete, 1,000-yard passer. Qualified for the WPIAL Golf Championships also in the fall. eclipsed the 1,000-point mark on the basketball career mark. Third year starting for Mohawk on the diamond. 3-2 the count, 1 down here in the top of the 5th inning. The payoff pitch from Fry. Golfed down the left field line, but it's going to drift foul. Count will remain full. Mentioned Mohawk ranked number 1 in the Trib Live rankings. Neshannock at 2. Riverside also in this section. They're at number 3. Avonworth currently ranked at 4. And South Park, defending WPIAL champions in Class 3A, are the 5th seed. Payoff pitch coming. Breaking ball drilled into right field between first and second base for a 1-out single for Jay Rona. So Rona finally gets an official at bat, and he puts it to good use. The 1-out single will bring Vinny Pizzulo, the freshman. 0 for 2, though he does have an RBI on the day, does Pizzulo. Already an hour and a half in. First pitch foul back to the screen for strike 1 to Pizzulo. Between innings, Coach Quilero of Neshannock, you hear him saying, we're in for a dogfight for another 2 hours. I'm certainly hoping that's not the case, that it's going to be another 2 hours. If so, Lee can go bowl and come all the way back. Fry checks the runner once, twice, now delivers. Great breaking ball to get Pizzulo's swing, 0-2. Mohawk and Riverside are 2-0 in section play. Shenango only got one of their 2 games against Beaver Falls in last week. They're at 1-0. Beaver Falls 0-1, Quaker Valley and Elwood City 0-2, and Neshannock their first section game. Those all section records I just named. Throw over back to first, kind of spinning the tires a bit there was Rona, but slides in safely. No limitation like the new MLB rule. Fry can throw over 15 more times in a row if he wanted to. Throws this pitch upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strike the count. Fry on in relief of Walzer. 5 runs through 3 innings. Charge to Walzer. Runner goes. Ground ball down the third base line. It is inside the bag. This is a fair ball. Off and running with the pitch was Jay Rona, and he's going to get all the way to third base as a result. Held up there on a 1-out double. Perfectly placed inside the third base line. 2 runners in scoring position. That's the tying run right back at second base. A dogfight it is. Back and forth we go. Aiden Bowser, 2 RBI singles already. Watching the first pitch fastball in the outside corner. And also, both of those were on 0-2 counts, by the way. You won't see an 0-2 count here as this breaking ball misses away. And just getting a piece of both of those. First one kind of a seeing eye single up the middle. The second one an infield hit as Jack Leese's throw to first base on a bang-bang play pulled the runner off the bag. Back up the middle, Fry able to hold the runner and had a chance maybe at a double play as the runner from second had been running to third, but a wise play. Fry just takes the easy out. Valentine doesn't go any extra throws, and a good hustle play by Pizzulo, the freshman, to get all the way back as Rona had to hold. 1-3 on the putout. 2 down in the inning. First time Bowser's been retired. Here comes Jackson Chapman. Started at first base. Now the center fielder is Chapman. 2 positions you don't exactly see commonly flip-flopped in a high school baseball game, but that's high school baseball. Fry misses outside for ball 1. That's the first time he's thrown a first pitch ball for Andrew Fry. This one does catch Black on the outer half. Evens the count at 1-1. 2 down, tying run at second base. First time Mohawk has faced a deficit here today. This one in the dirt, got behind Rind. He couldn't find it for a moment. It hit off his foot, then off of the umpire's pads. And maybe a bit of a break there for Neshannock as that one didn't make it the 65 feet to the backstop. Chapman also 2 for 2 on the day. A single to right and a single to left. So he's hit it all over the field. And this one misses downstairs. You can tell being a little bit cautious right now even. Potentially is Fry and Neshannock. Open base at first, not maybe a bad idea, though this one catches the outside corner. Count runs full. 2 down, top of the 5th inning. Fry sets and delivers. Fouled and out of play. We'll do it again. Rona the runner at third, Pizzullo at second. Jackson Chapman at the dish. Inside move. Fry will step off. Breaking ball misses away. Good at bat from Chapman to draw the walk, and again, bases are loaded. First time from Mohawk that the bases are full. How about Chapman on base 3 times now today? Jacob Werner, starting pitcher, now playing first base, will step to the plate. First pitch misses high and inside for ball 1. Werner 1 for 12 so far on the year, but he does have a pair of RBI. Penn State Shenango commit would love to cash in here and bring his team back in it. 2-0 now the count as that one misses upstairs. Rona at third, Pizzullo at second, Chapman at first. Two O's well upstairs, 3-0, and you figure the take sign will be on here. Coach Q, I think, is going to go and talk to his righty. Another Pontius Insurance trip to the mound gives us a chance to remind you, coming up after the game, we will have our Maley Chiropractic Play of the Game Award. Seasonal allergies, changes in the weather, that dreaded bleacher back when you're sitting out on the bleachers in 30-degree weather watching a baseball or softball game, well, guess what? They all affect how you'll feel on a daily basis. Headaches, joint pain, sinus pressure, even congestion, they can all be alleviated by chiropractic work. Call Maley Chiropractic to schedule your appointment today. So Jacob Werner at the plate. Bases loaded, a 3-0 count with 2 down. Here in the top of the 5th. Step off and throw over to first. Back in plenty of time. Now the ball gets away from Fry as Valentine threw it back to him. Gleason Rind watching it the whole way, making sure Rona can't advance. Here's the 3-0. Inside corner, strike 1. Taking all the way there for sure was Werner. Tying run at second base. The 3-1 pitch. Misses downstairs. An RBI the easy way. A bases loaded walk cuts the Neshannock lead in half. Everyone advances 90 feet. Pizzullo to third, Chapman to second, Werner now at first, Mason Hopper to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch in there for a strike. Breaking ball caught the top of the zone. Hopper, a .222 hitter on the year coming into today's game. Fry kicks and delivers, swung on a miss, strike 2. Fry 1 strike away from potentially getting out of this jam. The 0-2, breaking ball upstairs. Tried to catch the top of the strike zone again, that one for sure up at the eyes. Another one close this time, but misses away. Again, trying to get Hopper to chase up in the zone. Pizzulo at third. He's the tying run. Chapman at second. Werner at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Swung on and missed. Fry gets the strikeout to end the inning and leave the bases full of Warriors, but they do get 1 run on 1 hit. 2 hits, a pair of walks, but the bases left loaded. To the bottom of the 5th we go. The lead cut down in half. Neshannock 7, Mohawk 6. Back in a moment on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
When injuries get you sidelined, don't trust just anyone to get you back on the field. Visit Health in Motion Physical Therapy in Shenango Township. They want to get you back to the top of your game as quickly as possible with certified orthopedic and manual therapies. At Health in Motion, you receive quality one-on-one time with a board-certified physical therapist. Get the next generation of physical therapy to help in your recovery. Health in Motion is the first PT clinic in Western Pennsylvania to use the Nuvie, the neurobioelectric stimulator, in their therapies. Their technologies can reduce your time on the sideline from 3 or 4 weeks to just 3 or 4 days. Don't wait for months to see improvement. Notice a difference after your first visit to Health in Motion, keeping you moving. 9-1-2 hitters are due up for Neshannock, Pallarino, Jack Leese, and Cubelis in the bottom of the 5th, and the first time they'll step to the plate to start an inning with a lead. As Cubelis watches a fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. Neshannock 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, and 2 in the 4th. They've scored every inning and have the 1-run advantage over Mohawk. This one fouled out of play. Ethan Hare on in relief, his 2nd inning of duty. First time that he's started an inning, though. In relief of Jacob Werner. 0-2. Great breaking ball. Froze Pallarino. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. A 3-pitch strikeout. Second of the, we got to say evening now. It's getting, with the cloudiness, a bit dark out there. Top of the order now up, Jack Leese. 2 for 3 on the day, a pair of singles, a run and an RBI. And he's going to lay one down to third baseline. Barehanded plate, Pizzulo throw to first, but it will not be in time. Perfect placement, and that's the 3rd hit of the game for Jack Leese. So Gleese showing off the wheels with the bunt single. Dom Cubelis, he's 2 for 3 on the day as well. Fastball misses way high and away. Ball 1. To Cubelis. 5 RBI on the season. Looking for his first maybe here. Swings through that fastball. Evens the count at 1-1. Cubelis, who had the triple in the state championship game in extra innings, but ended up being stranded 90 feet away in that 9-inning, 1-0 final against Everett High School. 2-1 now the count as that one misses outside. The only left-handed swinger in the starting lineup for Neshannock. Runner goes on the 2-1, and a great piece of hitting as it's flared into left field. Gleese will hold up at second base. Top of the order getting it done, though, for Neshannock. Cubelis, 3 for 4. Gleese, 3 for 4. They're both on base, and Andrew Fry coming to the plate. Let's let that Undertaker bell ring a couple of times. Can't wait till we get out to Mohawk here in a couple of weeks' time and see what their walk-up songs are. as well. Great setup they got for us there at Mohawk as well, as Fry watches the first pitch catch the outside corner for strike one. Fry leading the team with 6 RBI on the year. Neshannock now has dished out 14 hits against Mohawk. Off and running with the pitch is Gleese. Throw down the third base, and they got him on the tag. Gleese thought he got the hand around the tag, but coming in and making the call, second base umpire Jimmy Hart saw the tag in time. What a great throw from Verdi, showing off the gun. Because Gleese had a great jump from second base. Cubelis remains at first, so now 2 down. Fry gives this one a ride to deep center field. Off and running with the pitch. Cubelis, he's going to round third as it lands behind the center fielder, and that's going to allow Cubelis to score easily. So it could have been 2, but it is still an RBI double for Andrew Fry. Now 7 ribbies on the year. And you know, I mean, if you're a Neshannock fan, you're saying maybe why do you try to steal third? We had that conversation earlier, but Jack Gleese had a great jump. You're going to go and make that run. So it was just a beautiful play by the catcher. And now you're going to have a pinch runner, it looks like. It's going to be Anthony Aiken, who's going to pinch run for Fry. Or I'm sorry, that's not a pinch runner. That's a courtesy runner, as Fry is your pitcher. So Aiken now the courtesy runner for the pitcher. First pitch just misses the helmet and the ball. The 1-0 to Melder, swung on and missed, evens the count at 1-1. Neshannock has now scored in all 5 innings. Incredible. Aiken, the freshman, running as the courtesy runner at second base. Another one that has Melder have to get out of the way. 2-1 now the count. Hare comes set and delivers. Popped up straight back, and that one's going to get out of play. Count even at 2-2. So Gleese was caught stealing on the next pitch. Fry put one out to the warning track, scoring Cubelis all the way from first. Now Anthony Aiken, the courtesy runner, running for him at second base. The 2-2 to Melder, swung on and missed. Beautiful breaking ball from Ethan Hare to get out of the jam, but another run on the board. 1 run, 3 hits. 1 runner left stranded on the bags, but Neshannock takes their lead back up to 2, 8-6 through 5 innings of play. Back in a moment. Lawrence County SportsNet, Trib Live High School Sports Network, Game Changer, and everywhere Facebook Live. It's the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
Coaches, success in the spring on the diamond begins all the way back in the fall. Get your team ready for the spring sports season by joining the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League. For nearly 2 decades, the WPFBL has hosted some of the top teams in the WPIAL and beyond to hone their skills in a competitive yet developmental environment. Over 60 teams compete in a 6-week fall season, which features Saturday doubleheader games in your region, followed by the playoffs for just $250 plus umpire fees. Coaches can choose to play based on a geographic location and school size, can choose to compete in the varsity division, and to get accustomed to 60-90 baseball in the JV division. For more information or to sign up for the WPFBL, call League President Brian Zarenza or visit WPFBL.totalcamps.com.
Brian Zarenda, I know he's tuned in on their way down. Sarah Catholic, who Neshannock fans, I think they're probably glad that they won't have to potentially face Sarah Catholic in the WPIAL playoffs again. Though I remember a couple of years ago, I think it was Sarah against Shenango, a state semifinal game that was played all the way up here. And he had no problem making that 2-hour trip, because how could you not want to play on Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field? We thank him for his sponsorship and hope we get a few more, maybe get up to 70 teams in that fall ball league here this season, the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League. Mohawk trailing 8-6 will send 9, 1, and 2 to the plate. Keegan Hopper, Bobby Fadden, and A.J. Verdi 40 pitches thrown so far from Fry in relief of the starter Walzer, and another first pitch strike. In fact, how about this? The only times that he did not throw a first pitch strike were the 2 walks, one that loaded the bases and one that brought in the run that made it at that point 7-6. Now it's 8-6 as Neshannock got one back in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Hopper struck out and tried to bunt for a hit in his 2 plate appearances so far today. Fastball just misses away, 2-1 to count. Fry again on in relief. He was helping himself out at the plate with the 2-out RBI double. Catches bottom half here, 2-2 the count to Hopper. Still looking for his first hit of the season, hitting out of the 9 spot. Mason and Keegan, the twins. Good breaking ball there. Good job by Hopper, though, to get a piece of it and stay alive in the at-bat. The other 2 games in section play, Riverside hosting Beaver Falls and Quaker Valley hosting Elwood City. I was told, though, that game did not happen today. 2-2 pitch fisted down the first base line. Valentine giving chase, and he's going to run out of real estate. May have hit the edge of his glove as he was going with the over-the-shoulder catch attempt, but it will fall in foul territory. You had Moses in right field, Pallarino at second base, but Valentine the only one who really had a chance at it. Players get back into their positions. Again, coming up after the game, we'll have our LCAP Player of the Game award. Talk more about our powering sponsor after this 2-2 pitch that's fouled towards the dinosaur. Head Start, pre-K counts programs. Children under the age of 5 can receive free quality preschool at various locations around the county. Think Lawrence County Social Services and just about everything else under the sun, including the Lawrence County SportsNet. That is LCAP. 2-2 pitch lifted into center field, but Cubelis basically does a do-si-do, barely moves at all, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. But a good at-bat from Hopper, an 8-pitch at-bat, but battle won by the pitcher, Andrew Fry, 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Bobby Fadden now to the plate. 1 for 3 with a run scored here today. Fry working solely from the stretch. Squaring to bunt and missed it completely. Tried to drag bunt for a hit. Ended up dropping the bat as he was running down the first base, but never made contact. The freshman in the leadoff spot. You don't say that very often in high school baseball. But you don't see a freshman athlete like Bobby Fadden very often either. And this one breaking ball inside. It's going to hit off the inside of the leg. So Fadden will go down to first. There's your first hit batsman of the game by either team. Fadden will take a second as A.J. Verdi single and score back in the first inning for the catcher. And now with a team-high 4 walks on the year is Verdi. They're going to make sure he is good to go. We'll see if Fadden might be going for one of those health and motion physical therapy. See if he'll be in motion on the base pass. First pitch swinging is Verdi, and it's going to be lifted foul on the first base line. Valentine gives it a look, but he'll run out of room. 12 batters faced, 10 first pitch strikes for Andrew Fry in relief. Another one popped up. This one will stay in play. Pallarino at second base is going to settle under it and make the catch for the second out of the inning. Jay Rona to the plate. 1 for 1, a walk, a sacrifice, and a single, and he scored twice, has Jay Rona. He's done a little bit of everything so far today. Does a little bit of everything in the sports world for Mohawk. Now with 2 down. Rona watches the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. You hear the calls coming in. I'm still a traditionalist, but game's changing. We got to change with it. This one's popped up on the left side of the infield this time. Shortstop Jack Leese will settle under it and make the catch for the third out of the inning. So a hit batsman in there, but no runs, no hits, and that runner left on base. To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. Neshannock holding an 8-6 lead at lcsportsnet.com. Lawrence County SportsNet powered by LCAP.
At LCAP Early Learning Centers, our kids are superheroes with extraordinary abilities to explore and learn. All our programs are filled with amazing children, but we need help. We're hiring group supervisors, assistant group supervisors, aides, and many other support positions. If you love to work with children as young as 6 weeks old, then you could be a superhero too. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County. Apply today at lcap.org.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Neshannock with the lead 8-6. What a roller coaster ride it's been as Mohawk put 3 runs on the board in the top of the 1st inning. Neshannock has answered each and every time. They got 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd. Mohawk extended their lead to 5-2 with a pair of runs in the 3rd. Neshannock ties it up, though. 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jake Rinn with a 2 RBI single. Actually, I'm ahead of myself. Rinn did have an RBI single. So did Matt Pallarino. The 7-8-9 here is all getting a hit in that inning to tie it up at 5. Neshannock would take their first lead at 7-5. There's the Jake Rinn 2 RBI single in the 4th inning, and then each team scoring in the 5th. A bases-loaded walk drawn by Jacob Werner, and then an RBI double from Andrew Fry. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Nate Rinn, Gio Valentine, and Jake Rinn will be due up for the Neshannock Lancers. Ethan Hare on in relief. He's thrown 2 innings in relief so far, giving up 4 hits. 3 strikeouts and a pair of walks for Hare. Both these teams, though, pounding the baseball. Mohawk 7 hits. Sounds pretty good. Neshannock has 14 hits on the day. First pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1 to Rind. 3-hit days for Jack Leese and Dom Cubelis at the top of the lineup. Rind chops this one towards short. It's going to be cut off by the third baseman, but Pizzullo unable to handle it. There's your first error of the game. E5 on that one. As a freshman, that's the right play. He's got the much easier play coming across, but he's going to have to give up the error. Rind on base all 4 times. As his dad jokingly said during the game against Hopewell, well, he had a walk-off hit in that game, but he said he reaches on error more than anybody I know. Now, hey, if you get on base, who cares? Find a way on. First pitch upstairs, ball 1 to Gio Valentine, the only player for Neshannock without a hit today, though he does have an RBI ground out back in the 3rd. The 1-0. This one chopped, and just like that, all 9 players in the batting order for Neshannock with base hits today. Found the space in the 6-5 hole between short and third for those who don't keep a book. If you don't, give it a try one of these times. Jake Rinn to the plate, and he's had himself a day. 2 for 2, pair of runs scored, and 3 RBI for the sophomore. He's going to go to square to bunt this time, pulls back, throw behind at second base. It's going to get away from the shortstop, otherwise Brigham was dead to rights. But the ball kind of skipped in, and maybe a bit of a break as the courtesy runner, Brigham, able to get back. Again, your courtesy runner brought to you by Castle Asphalt. They know the importance of making a good first impression. Well, it's the second time out there, so good second impression as well. Coach Q gives a little shake of the head. Got to see that one down. Squaring to bunt again. Rinn does offer. Evens the count at 1-1. So we'll see if Coach Q will keep Rinn, the .333 hitter coming into today. No RBIs coming into today, but 3 of them. See if they'll keep the bunt on or if they'll let him swing away. He does go to swing, but holds up. 2-1 now the count. Luke Gleason, the on-deck circle. He's 1 for 2. Neshannock has pounded out now 15 hits on the day. Runners go and swing on a ball in the dirt. I think that was kind of a hit and run. Maybe he's trying to save the runner a little bit. But because of the... he gave a signal of 3-1. I think they're going to confirm that, yeah, he did swing. Yes, he did swing at that pitch. And it was such a late swing, not surprising that home plate umpire Doug Brown did not see it. So it should be a 2-2 count. But now the infield has to come up after the stolen base from Brigham and Valentine. Second swipe bag for Brigham. Infield in, 2-2 count. Rinn watches it go upstairs for ball 3. Count runs full. Coach Periano wanted that one. Didn't miss by much. Brigham, the courtesy runner at third. Valentine stands at second. Payoff pitch. Popped foul down the first base line. Werner will give chase, but will run out of real estate. Count will remain full, nobody out. Three balls, 2 strikes. Hare delivers. Chopped, foul. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Sophomore against senior. Two seniors on the mound for Mohawk today. Werner started, Hare in relief. Payoff pitch again popped up and foul. Big time battle here. Neshannock trying to get some insurance in the bottom of the 6th. Mohawk will have 4, 5, 6 hitters due up with their last chance in the top of the 7th coming up. The 3-2. Misses inside. 9 pitch at bat, and it's won by the batter, Jake Rinn. Bases full of Lancers. Brigham at third, Valentine at second, Jake Rinn at first. Luke Gleese to the plate. Heard Lee talking about the quadruplets for Neshannock, the seniors. Luke first pitch swinging foul back into the screen. Luke the left fielder. That was accidentally by design back in the Pony League days. You had Luke in left and Robin right. Until you can identify him, that was the easiest way to do so. Squeeze bunt on, and it's going to be deflected. They did get a piece of it. It is a foul ball as Brigham was coming. Gleese couldn't get it down. Mentioned that Neshannock had a double squeeze in the district semis against Burgettstown last year. Gleese, though, unable to get that one down. Now an 0-2 count. Nobody out. Base is still loaded. Pops this one up in foul territory, so no infield fly rule. Trying to give chase, and it's going to fall right in front of the fence between the catcher, Verdi, and the first baseman, Werner. Brigham at third, Valentine at second, Jake Rind at first, Gleese facing an 0-2 count from Hare. And again, just getting a piece of it, and Verdi thought he had squeezed it. So that's already 5 pitches this inning with 2 strikes that have been fouled off by Neshannock batters. Hare will come set again. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Forced strikeout from Hare. Got Gleese to chase it up. That's just the first out of the inning, though. Matt Pallarino, 1 for 3 on the day, will come to the plate. You can hear fans in the stands. That's all they're saying. Find a way to put something in play. Try to get that insurance run across, and that's going to do even better. It's going to be a flare that'll fall in for a base hit. Valentine rounding third. He will be held there. Station to station go the Lancers. Second RBI single for the 9-batter, Matt Pallarino. Makes the score 9-6. Pallarino, 2 for 4. Out of the 9 spot, and he turns it over to Jack Gleese, and he's had himself a day. 3 for 4 for Gleese. First pitch, though, misses down in the dirt, and it keeps the streak going, by the way. 6 innings, a run scored each inning for Neshannock. Incredible. 1-0 misses upstairs, 2-0 the count. Nowhere to put Gleese, as you got Valentine at third, Jake Rind at second, and now Pallarino at first. I 3-0 now the count as that one misses away. Oh, your number 1 hitter, hitting well over 600 on the year, now with 3 ribbies as well. You put the chokehold on him. You might put the choke yourself if you're Jack Gleese. Watches that one right down Broadway. Good response from Ethan Hare. Up to 68 pitches after that one. The 3-1 to Gleese. Catches the top of the zone just barely. Again, a great response. Ethan Hare, count runs full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Payoff pitch. Lifted fouled on the first base line. It's in foul territory, and they're not going to be able to get to it. Not sure if he could have gotten to it if Keegan Hopper might have been better off not even trying to make the catch. Because for sure Valentine would have been able to tag up and score. Here's the payoff pitch again from Hare. Line right back through the box. That's going to be a base hit. 1 run will score. Being held up at the last second, Rind will retreat back to third. Again, station to station, Jack Gleese, his 4th hit of the game. Valentine scores. Everyone else moves up 90 feet. (10-6) your score. Neshannock putting up a hitting clinic. First pitch, strike 1 to Cubelis. He's 3 for 4 on the day. I think we're going to have a pinch runner coming in. And now Brigham, who was a courtesy runner, will now be a pinch runner. Will pinch run for Gleese at first. So A.J. Brigham at first. Ground ball to the second baseman. Throw to home for 1. Throw to first base is in time for the 4-2-3 double play. The twin killer ends the inning. Bases are left loaded. But some more damage as Neshannock puts 2 runs on the board. 2 runs on 3 hits. There was an error. And the bases, officially will leave 3 on base. To the 7th we go. Last chance for Mohawk. They'll send 4, 5, 6 hitters to the plate when we return at lcsportsnet.com and a Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Whether you're hosting a big party, it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination. Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
First pitch in there for strike 1 to Vinny Pizzulo. Last chance for Mohawk, 4, 5, 6 hitters. Pizzulo, Bowser, and Chapman are due up. Fry has been golden in relief. This 0-1 pitch lifted up in the air on the right side of the infield. Pallarino backtracks, now settles under it for the first out of the inning. 3 straight pop-ups forced by Fry in relief. Starter Jacob Walzer went the first 3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits. Five runs on 5 hits, As this first one misses for ball 1 to Aiden Bowser, a 500 hitter and leading the team with now 9 RBIs on the season. Right now just trying to get on base. That one evens the count at 1-1. Fry and now 3 1/3 of relief. Just 2 hits allowed and 1 run allowed. That came on a bases-loaded walk. This one, ground ball, seeing high single, 3rd hit of the game for Aiden Bowser as he stays hot at the plate. And remember, with the home-and-home series, the way that these games go, even if Mohawk is unable to make the comeback here, can still get some momentum for their game at home tomorrow. Well, we hope it's at home tomorrow. And we're going to have a change. And Bowser was the DH. So we'll see exactly how they did that, because he was DHing for the pitcher at this point, who was Hare. So if they did that, then you could put in a courtesy for the pitcher. We'll confirm who that is running. It is J.J. Nail who will run for him. So Nail, who was the original player being DH'd for, ends up as the... That's just his re-entry is really what that is. So 3rd hit of the game for Bowser. 1-0 the count to Jackson Chapman. He's been on base 3 times today. Count 2-0 to him. After the game, we'll get a chance, hopefully, to talk with either Coach Q or Coach Mariano. 3-0 the count. You know that neither team's going to go down without a fight. Throw over to first base, back in plenty of time there at first. That one catches part of the zone. 3-1 now the count. (3-1) to Chapman is going to be downstairs for a ball. So Chapman 2 singles and now 2 walks that he has drawn. That brings the tying run into the on-deck circle. Andrew Bubba Fry pitching at Mike Bubba Kirkwood Field with Jacob Werner at the plate. Just misses away. One of these teams will have their first loss of the season. This one in there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1. Werner had the RBI the easy way, the bases loaded walk in his last at bat. Swings and fouls this one back right at us. 1-2 now the count to the senior. And only 2 seniors on this team. For Mohawk, both have pitched here today. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses away, evens the count at 2-2. Try not to get the story of second period down in front of the concession stand. The 2-2. Swung on, fouled back, and out of play. Count will remain 2-2 to Werner. 0 for 2, as I mentioned, he does have the bases loaded walk. Fry delivers. Flare towards right field. Coming in and making a diving attempt, and did he hang on to it? He did not. Throw to second base. Will it get there in time? It does. It's going to work out. Moses couldn't make the catch in the air, but gets the relay into Pallarino to Glee. So it's your traditional fielder's choice of 9-4-6. It retires Chapman at second base. Bowser, or excuse me, no longer Bowser, it's now Nail running at third. Runners on the corners, but Mohawk down to their final out, and Mason Hopper will step to the plate for it. Moses basically stuck like glue out there in right field. There's the other Shazi reference for you. Fake to third, throw to first. Leamone, if you're listening, you're welcome. Breaking ball just misses away for ball 1 to Mason Hopper. Looking for his first hit of the day. Twin brother Keegan in the on-deck circle. Count now even at 1-1. They'll do battle again tomorrow, hopefully at Mohawk High School. If not, maybe out at Scene Park. And that's if the weather holds. The 1-1. Down and away. Fry in his 4th inning of relief. That was pitch number 72. Ground ball up the middle. Pallarino will get to it. Fire to first base in time. And Neshannock takes game 1 of 2 in the battle between number 1 and number 2 in Class 3A. A 10-6 Lancers victory at home. We'll do it all again tomorrow between the Warriors and the Lancers. But first, we're going to step aside our Tri-County Principals post-game show when we return at lcsportsnet.com and the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Medore Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services and over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Medore and Michael Bonner, established Medore Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise and personal attention. Guided by their professional staff, you can feel confident your rights will be protected. Call attorneys Jason Medor or Michael Bonner, or visit MedorBonnerLaw.com for more information.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Coaches, success in the spring on the diamond begins all the way back in the fall. Get your team ready for the spring sports season by joining the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League. For nearly 2 decades, the WPFBL has hosted some of the top teams in the WPIAL and beyond to hone their skills in a competitive yet developmental environment. Over 60 teams compete in the 6-week fall season, which features Saturday doubleheader games in your region, followed by the playoffs for just $250 plus umpire fees. Coaches can choose to play based on a geographic location and school size, can choose to compete in the varsity division, and to get accustomed to 60-90 baseball in the JV division. For more information or to sign up for the WPFBL, call League President Brian Zarenza or visit WPFBL.totalcamps.com.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
Building Block Baseball is a local organization dedicated to and actively involved in teaching and development of local baseball talent. 3B provides weekly baseball seminars from January through May to enhance local baseball knowledge for players, coaches, and parents. Building Block Baseball is available for one-on-one development programs, team instructions, and group sections. 3B also provides Lawrence County with their own collegiate summer baseball team. The 3B Barons showcase top collegiate baseball talents of the area. Visit buildingblocksbaseball.com for more information and for their free downloadable documents and videos. Whether you're just learning the game, playing in college, or coaching a team, 3B can get you the building blocks of baseball today.
It's our Tri-County Principals postgame show here at lcsportsnet.com, Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. And we had not quite the marathon game that we had 15 years ago when these two teams played over at Scene Park, but a final score of 10-6 in favor of Neshannock, a game in which Neshannock belted out the official final total. 17 hits on the day. Absolutely incredible hitting performance at the plate. 4 hits from Jack Lease, 3 from Dom Cubelis, 2 each from Andrew Fry, Jake Rinn, Matt Pallarino. And when you look at it, 1 through 9, everybody had a base hit today. You can't really chalk it up much better than that. As we go through our recap here, we'll take our time and make sure we get it all, and then we'll talk hopefully with Coach John Quilero of the victorious Neshannock Lancers. They were Well, they were down 3-1 early, 3-0 actually, as 3 runs put on the board from Mohawk in the top of the first inning. A.J. Verdi had a 0-2 pitch single into right center field. Jay Rona walked, and then Aiden Bowser with a 2-out RBI single. A run scored on a it was on the stolen base, try to throw down. Excuse me, there, lost my notes. It was a stolen base attempt down the second. The ball got away from the second baseman, allowed the run to score from third on the first and third play. And then the next pitch, a RBI single from Jackson Chapman. It was 3-0 Mohawk after the top of the first inning. Neshannock responded. Grant Melder, after Gleese, Cubelis, and Fry all single to start the game, Melder able to get an RBI ground out, scoring Gleese, made it 3-1. That lead would be cut again after a leadoff walk from Jake Rind. A 2-out RBI single from Jack Gleese cut the lead in half. Mohawk would jump back up, though, take that, make it a 5-2 lead after a leadoff infield hit from Bobby Fadden and a walk from A.J. Verdi. They were sacrificed to third. Pizzulo with a ground out to get Fadden to score, and then Bowser an RBI infield single to score a second run. That scored Verdi. Made the score at that point 5-2. Neshannock, though, would tie it up in that third inning. In the bottom of the third, a one-out double from Grant Melder. Rind singles, puts runners on the corners. Gio Valentine, a ground out to score him. And then Jake Rind, an RBI single as well. 3 straight singles from the 7-8-9 hitters. Luke Gleese then singled, and Pallarino an RBI single. Tied the score at 5. And then Neshannock took their first lead of the game. Cubelis a leadoff single in the fourth. Melder walked. They both scored on a 2-out, 2 RBI single from Jake Rind. Made the score 7-5. Jay Rona singled and scored on a bases-loaded walk from Jacob Werner in the top of the fifth. Cut the lead down to 1. It was 7-6. Neshannock got it right back, though. Cubelis with a single after a Jack Gleese single. Gleese got caught trying to steal third, and on the next pitch, Andrew Fry doubles to the gap to score Cubelis all the way from first. Made it 8-6, and then 2 more runs after Nate Rind led off, reached on an error. Gio Valentine with a single. Jake Rind would walk to load the bases. After a strikeout, Matt Pallarino would get an RBI single up the middle. Jack Gleese also an RBI single in the inning. Made it 10-0, and 2 runners on base in the final inning for Mohawk, but they could not get any closer. Your final score, 10-6. In favor of Neshannock. 10 runs on 17 hits. An error. And we'll confirm runners left on base. Mohawk had him for 6 runs on 9 hits. 1 error. They left 8 on the bags. Neshannock on the day, 11 runners stranded on base. Andrew Fry, your winning pitcher, throwing 4 innings of relief, giving up just the 1 earned run on 4 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Also had a hit batsman, did Fry, in relief. Jacob Werner, he'll suffer the loss, pitched 3+ innings, and that first batter he faced in the 4th inning ended up being the game-winning run in retrospect, the Cubelis leadoff single in the 4th inning. So 3+ innings, 10 hits, 6 runs. They were all earned. Ethan Hare came in relief. He pitched the final 3 innings. He gave up 7 hits, gave up 4 runs, of which 3 were earned. He had 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. Mohawk, their first loss, now at 4-1 overall, 2-1 in section play. Neshannock 3-0. They're now 1-0 in the section. Their first section games here today for the Neshannock Lancers. And say sorry to Coach Mariano. He called it the LC curse, because I think the last 3 times that I've done a Mohawk game has not gone in favor of the Warriors. He'll be happy to know that we will not be traveling out to Mohawk or to Scene Park or to wherever the game may be. We will not be there for tomorrow's. What's up? You coming tomorrow? You'll be happy to know? No. He just said thank you. His team battled, man, and, I mean, can't take away the fact they put 6 runs up on the board. Look at the runs that Mohawk has scored in their games this year. 6 is the fewest they've scored. 7, 10, 13, 8, and then now 6 here today, but the bats kind of ran cold once the reliever Andrew Fry came in. His first innings on the mound this season. And tell you what, we were a little bit nervous there in the third inning. We thought that he might not even be able to even finish the game. He fouled one off his left foot, and that's the foot he has a protective padding on, and foot he had broken during basketball season. You worried whether he would be able to continue in the game, but he certainly did. He played exceptionally well. He got the win in relief. That's a big part of today's game. Let's look at some of the quick big numbers hitting-wise. Aiden Bowser from Mohawk, 3 of 4, a couple of RBI for him on the day. Jackson Chapman was on base all 4 times, a couple of singles and a couple of walks. They were big-time performers at the plate. For Neshannock, right down the list, first, again, all 9 batters with a hit today. Jack Leese, 4 of 5. Dom Cubelis, 3 of 5. Andrew Fry, 2 of 4. He had an RBI. Gleese, by the way, had 2 RBI. Grant Melder on base a couple of times. He was 2 for 3 at the plate. Rind scores twice. He was on base all 4 times. Jake Rind also on base, 2 singles and 2 walks. He was on base all 4 times as well. And Matt Pallarino in a 9-hole, a couple of 2-out RBI singles as well for him to really turn over that lineup. While we wait for Coach Q, the long-winded Coach Q, I can send our producer extraordinaire, Mr. Vigiano, if he wants to get out of here. You're welcome to do so. I'm going to leave the equipment up here, I think, and lock it up. We'll go get that'll work perfectly. He'll go take care of our strike zone cam while we go with our post-game awards. We'll start with our Maley Chiropractic play of the game, and that play of the game is going to go to Jake Rind, who had the 2 RBI single in the 4th that put Neshannock up for good. Jake Rind was on base all 4 times today, his first 3 RBI in the year. But that 2 RBI single with 2 outs in the 4th is your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Maley Chiropractic proud to honor Jake Rind for today's play of the game. He will receive a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's play of the game. You can view the full list of plays of the game at lcsportsnet.com. Congratulations, Jake Rind, your Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game. As for your player of the game award, we're going to go a bit of a different route because you don't get a lot of love for it, but the 9-hitter coming in the clutch a couple of different times. We're going to give the player of the game to Matt Pallarino. A couple of singles in big moments to drive runs in from the 9 spot, and in honor of all 9 starters getting hits today, we're going to give Matt Pallarino your LCAP Player of the Game award. LCAP and LC Sportsnet proud to honor Matt for today's LCAP Player of the Game award. He will also receive a customized T-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's Player of the Game. And again, you can view that full list as we're still trying to get it updated from basketball season, but it's there, lcsportsnet.com. Click on Player of the Game. Congratulations, Matt Pallarino, your LCAP Player of the Game. We're going to step aside one more time, pass out those shirts, and then we're going to try to get a talk with Coach Q when we return at lcsportsnet.com. For 20 years, Maley Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Maley Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Maley Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Castle Asphalt and Construction is driven to provide quality, cost-efficient pavement-related services to Western Pennsylvania. Every paving or construction service at Castle Asphalt begins with a thorough site inspection of the area to allow their team of professionals to become familiar with the unique conditions of your home or business. Once the site inspection is complete, Castle Asphalt provides you with a detailed plan of the design, cost, materials, and time of completion, so you know exactly what to expect during your construction. Visit castleasphalt.com to request a quote for your next project and make your dream design come to fruition.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Medore Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services and over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Medore and Michael Bonner, established Medore Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise and personal attention. Guided by their professional staff, you can feel confident your rights will be protected. Call attorneys Jason Medore or Michael Bonner, or visit MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
At LCAP Early Learning Centers, our kids are superheroes with extraordinary abilities to explore and learn. All our programs are filled with amazing children, but we need help. We're hiring group supervisors, assistant group supervisors, aides, and many other support positions. If you love to work with children as young as 6 weeks old, then you could be a superhero too. Help empower young minds in Lawrence County. Apply today at lcap.org.
Just like going to the doctor, our homes need a checkup too. If your home is not properly weatherized, you could be at risk for symptoms that cause unhealthy ailments and higher utility bills. The Weatherization Assistance Program is the key to reducing utility costs and increasing comfort in your home. Services include an in-home energy audit to inspect your furnace and hot water tank, check for air sealing around windows and doors, and ensure adequate insulation and ventilation. Learn more at lcap.org or call the Department of Healthy Homes to get your checkup today.
Looking for a unique way to expand your business? Advertise on the Lawrence County SportsNet and be seen by thousands of viewers in the area and around the country on over 100 broadcasts each year. Visit lcsportsnet.com and click Advertise with LCSN.
When injuries get you sidelined, don't trust just anyone to get you back on the field. Visit Health in Motion Physical Therapy in Shenango Township. They want to get you back to the top of your game as quickly as possible with certified orthopedic and manual therapies. At Health in Motion, you receive quality one-on-one time with a board-certified physical therapist. Get the next generation of physical therapy to help in your recovery. Health in Motion is the first PT clinic in Western Pennsylvania to use the Nuvie, the neurobioelectric stimulator, in their therapies. Their technologies can reduce your time on the sideline from 3 or 4 weeks to just 3 or 4 days. Don't wait for months to see improvement. Notice a difference after your first visit to Health in Motion, keeping you moving.
When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Weiland, Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance and receive the personalized service you deserve.
Coaches, success in the spring on the diamond begins all the way back in the fall. Get your team ready for the spring sports season by joining the Western Pennsylvania Fall Baseball League. For nearly 2 decades, the WPFBL has hosted some of the top teams in the WPIAL and beyond to hone their skills in a competitive yet developmental environment. Over 60 teams compete in a 6-week fall season, which features Saturday doubleheader games in your region, followed by the playoffs for just $250 plus umpire fees. Coaches can choose to play based on a geographic location and school size, and can choose to compete in the varsity division and to get accustomed to 60-90 baseball in the JV division. For more information or to sign up for the WPFBL, call League President Brian Zarenza or visit WPFBL.totalcamps.com.
As we continue our Tri-County Principals post-game show, the very short-winded Coach John Quilero. He says normally during his post-game speech he goes 1 through 9. Well, he couldn't do that tonight, Coach, and your 10-6 victory, 1 through 9 all got a hit, Coach.
Wow. You know, I told him we'll talk about it when the series is over because this is just the start of this series.
Yeah.
get a ticket for tomorrow because I know that Mohawk, very well coached, tremendous coaching staff. Nick Mariano does a phenomenal job. They're warriors, as their nickname says, and they will be ready to play tomorrow. And so we are not even going to celebrate this victory. We're going to move on to tomorrow, coaches meeting, scouting report, and my kids told them, hey, embrace tomorrow's grind because it's coming.
Well, it was a grind all night tonight.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
2-hour, 20-minute game, and I heard you say, I think it was in the 4th or 5th inning, you said something like, we're going to go for another 2 hours here the way this goes. But
I didn't think for one side 10-6 wasn't enough in that last inning, and they were at the middle bottom of the order. They do a tremendous job of covering the plate with 2 strikes, putting it in play. 1 through 9, they could swing it, and so can we. We proved that tonight. And James, I was telling Cody, I know my top what they're going to do. I think the bottom of the order today, well, heck, I got Jake Wren hitting in the 7-hole. Are you kidding me? This kid can hit 2 or 3 for most teams right now. The way he's swinging, he could hit 2 or 3 for me. But the bottom of my lineup, just whether I don't even look at the stats, I'm looking at quality of bats. My 9-hitter, Matt Pallarino, in his first real big varsity start, did a tremendous job of seeing pitches. He had a couple hits, I believe, some RBIs. You get that out of the 9 spot on this team, we're going to score some runs.
Yeah, well, and that's why he was our LCAP player of the game for exactly that reason, to turn it over like that. But, I mean, you're right. There is no – especially when, you had last year during the playoffs when you had so many guys who were in and out of the lineup with injury, illness, or, Bubba not being allowed to play throughout the postseason, that you had to have some of those guys step up at different moments. You had a Gio Valentine do something, and for example, Nate had some games. Jake obviously came in big in some of those games. But it's just fun to see that all click together at the beginning of the year, and especially, what's the difference, I want to ask you, because normally it's the pitching that's ahead of the hitting, not the other way around when you put up 17 hits today.
Well, I could, be honest with you, Coach Borelli and my coaches, the weight room. We added, implemented, instead of just the fall, winter, we started in the summer. If you look at their bodies, 1 through 9, they've changed, and they're more confident. Plus, look, we get reps. Right, we're blessed to be able to be out here seeing live pitching. 38 degrees, we're playing for this reason. You can't simulate the live pitching even in a cage. I think that's a big part of it. We talk about finishing and competing, and I think that happened tonight. We did finish the ball game. That last inning, the bottom of the 6th, was critical. If we do not score those 2 runs. And I wanted 4. I was trying to squeeze in another run, right? I knew no lead is safe with Mohawk, anyone in our conference.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we moved. I didn't move because I felt like, Double A was below us or we were, better. We wanted to go. We didn't. Look, the atmosphere tonight.
Absolutely.
Right? These kids deserve it. They play for it. We're playing for one thing. We all know that. But in the meantime, they're growing up and they're maturing as young adults playing in games like this, whether they fail, succeed. And I think that was the biggest, move, reasons why we moved. Now, tomorrow, again, I didn't even make a decision pitching, so let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Jacob Walzer, ran him out there. He's my guy. I jumped him a little early on a couple 0-2 pitches. He got himself in trouble, right, with those. But the kid is going to be fine. He come back, bounce back. I told him I made an administrative decision. He could have probably went out there another inning. Coach Senchek, my pitching coach, calls me last night. He said, we're talking about all these guys that we have thrown in relief of scrimmages and all the inter-squad games. Bubba has not been on the mound yet. And, Coach Senchek calls me. He says, I think Bubba's ready. We were late with him because of the injury in basketball.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I love it. And Dell had a great point. If he's on the bump, we could run for him as well.
Yes.
And we plan on being on base. And I just had that gut feeling that we went with this guy. He wanted the ball. In the last inning, I went to get him. I didn't have any visits left, so I got out to the on-deck circle, and he waved me off. That's a guy there that has missed the playoffs, missed half of the season last year, missed basketball. I said, you know what? Let me stay with him. He deserves moments like this.
And then he fouls one off of his foot, and
Yeah,
I can only imagine what's going through everybody's head at that point.
What was going through my mind is get up and run. I didn't know that they called it dead. I was ready to get in his tail
for not running.
The ball got thrown down the line.
Yeah.
but
I mean, it is great to be able to have him and know that you're going to have him throughout the entire course of the year for the first time in any of his sports here at Neshannock.
Sure, and he's a special player, special kid. I mean, he's just so coachable and, lovable. Everybody likes being around Bubba. I'm happy for him. And there's only one way. Cody asked, is he 100% healthy? I said he's 100% cleared medically. As far as him being 100% healthy, the only way, James, for him to get the relief back on that is to have the screw taken out. Okay? Yeah. And that would be lose another season. So he's going to play through it, but we're not doing anything to jeopardize his health. The barb's all over it. His doctor's all over it. We're cleared on everything. And so it might be a day where we rest him on a non-conference game. I need these guys. And, see, Jack Leese is banged up. I did a pinch runner for him here in the sixth, bottom of sixth. Now, the guy, he tried to take third on his own. I got a green light on him.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to say, after it was over, I said, number one, you're not 100%. You were almost in there. I said, but you got Bob up. So I'm going to take that green light off maybe there because he's just a competitor.
Right.
And it just seems there's something about, when you play these county teams in basketball, you've seen what he did.
Yeah.
But he's not. Right? He's not 100%. But I'll go right to the pitchers. We're piecing this together with two mid-80 arms that aren't thrown right now. It looks like we're probably going to get those guys back in 3 weeks. And then, hey, these guys are all going to be better because of it. Right now, I looked, it was either going to be Valentine, Cabela's, Morel, Latta coming in. And I told these guys, I feel confident with all of them. It's just different situations, which one I might feel a little bit more confident. It's not like, oh, no, we got to do. It's like tough decisions like, oh, who do I go to? Because I could use them all. They've all have shown signs that they can compete out there.
And they all had to do it for you at various points last year.
And they're going to be ready tomorrow. Look, we're going to use 3 pitchers tomorrow, James. I mean, that's where we're at. But no question to come here, in 1 and 2. I don't look at that. Because I think that Riverside is one of the best teams.
They're number 3.
They're one of the best teams in the state. And don't sleep on Shenango. Elwood, I don't know if we've ever played them without it being a 1-run game. So the rankings to me don't matter. It's the next pitch, next game, and we have to do that. And we have to stay within that and keep that focus because you lose sight of that, all of a sudden you get swept.
Yeah, the 17-0 the softball game over, I think, before the first inning had ended here. You're not going to get those kind of games in this Section 1.
And I knew that when I moved up, and we talked about it and said, hey, here's the pros and cons. But again, I think it's the right decision just for the program and the way what we're doing here.
Well, one final question I asked. First off, I appreciate you moving up because we're going to be seeing you guys a heck of a lot this year with this incredible section. It's going to be fun to watch. Final question I want to ask you is what is the biggest thing you want to see? Yeah, you had 17 hits today. Yeah, you put 10 runs on the board. What's the biggest thing you want to see improved upon 24 hours from now?
So we have to eliminate the walks. Okay, we didn't have a ton. I didn't look at the stats yet. I'm just so focused on the next. What do we have, James?
5 and a hit batter is what I have.
Okay, so I mean, to me, how many of those runs score? Probably 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so
1, 2, and the third one was forced in.
Right.
So yeah.
So there's 3 runs.
There you go.
That's one. That's number 1. Number 2 is we made. Defensively, we're usually strong. I think it was nerves. We had a play at second we're going to normally get. And then someone, we had to pull it off the bag and maybe miss the cut and start to – we got to clean it up. If we do that, we limit the walks and we pitch the contact, we make the plays we're supposed to, I think that, we're going to be in games.
Well, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
And
this is great for you to be up here. We got a spring day.
Yes.
We're blessed, hopefully, tomorrow again.
Hopefully at Mohawk for their sake. Hopefully they get a chance to
we'll know by noon tomorrow. Now, you're not on tomorrow.
No, we will not be, but we'll be covering best we can, and we'll be sending our updates and stuff.
Again, as always, on the winning end or losing end, you have no idea how much I appreciate it. I know the kids do in the community. people that can't come to the games. It's huge. And, man, I love seeing you over here in this press box, Coach.
It does feel great. Coach, I appreciate it.
All right,
and
thank you.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks so much. Bye.
That's Coach John Quilero, kind enough to join us for interview number 7,200 of of the night, so it feels like. And, yes, that was the short-winded version of Coach Q. And you can ask Walt right behind me. He knows what the long-winded version is. Well, we wouldn't be out of here until midnight if that were the case. But thanks to him, thanks to Coach Mariano, who, by the way, Coach Mo said thank you for not coming out tomorrow, because I think he's I think I've put the Lawrence County curse upon Mohawk baseball here in the last year. I think every game I've gone out to has not ended well for the Warriors, unfortunately. So for their sake, see if tomorrow will make any sort of a difference. That it will be game 2. We'll see the fun part of it, too, the depth of the pitching staff. Coach Q just talked about it. We'll see which team can come up with the better depth in the staff to get the game tomorrow. And if we got 16 runs on the board today, when you got, pitchers 3, 4, or 5 on a team, you can only imagine what could possibly be happening. Thanks again to Aaron Vigiano, our producer. Thanks to Lee Moan, who's probably done bowling by now. And thanks to, again, Coach Quilero and Coach Mariano for all they have done for us and will continue to do for us as we will continue to support them throughout the course of this 2023 spring season. I'm James Dobson saying so long. Your final score, one last time. It was a victory for Neshannock. Your final score again, 10-6 in favor of the Neshannock Lancers. And you saw it right here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Have a great night, everyone. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet.